SprintCarUnlimited.com, coming in from Lincoln Speedway, Night 2 Pennsylvania Speed Week. We're here with third place finisher James McFadden. First off, you're back in Pennsylvania. It's got to feel good to be back. You've had a lot of success here.
Yeah, it was like a second home there for a long time. Obviously, 2017, 18 sort of era. It's always fun to get back. It's a lot tough. It's tough. It's tough place to just show up and do a few races. So it's cool to come and do Speed Week. I don't think I've actually done a whole Speed Week before. So looking forward to it. Obviously, great night tonight and decent first night. It's like I said, it's hard to bring a car that's a California car to Pennsylvania and get it to go around, and so far so good.
What does need to change kind of from that California to Pennsylvania thing? I know Drew's been here before. This car hasn't, I don't think. And, of course, you could bring a lot to the table here just from a driving standpoint because you've run all these tracks. How tricky is that, and what changes do you have to make from, like, California to Pennsylvania?
Yeah, it's just the feel that I'm looking for, really. I'm not going to get... I haven't been here since 24, so obviously we've had a few tyre changes and a different race car, and so predominantly I've been racing California and Australia, and then they're just clay tracks with grip, and then they're slick, very slick, obviously, but the grip's there, so you can chase grip, and here, it's dirty, and the grip's not actually grip. So it's just a different way of processing what your car's doing or what I need and how we go about that. Obviously, Drew and I have never worked here together, so just to try and figure out, the translation between what I want, what I'm feeling, and what he thinks needs to go in. And I think you see that the same thing with the Pennsylvanian guys leaving Pennsylvania. The notebook isn't as thick as what it is in Pennsylvania as it is everywhere else. So it's not that we don't have a fast car and he's not a good mechanic or I'm not a good driver. It's just the notebook isn't the same. And I think that's just a feel thing, right?
Tonight, solid night, set quick time, get a third in the main event. You were tracking down Anthony Macker there. I think you showed him the bottom, and he was able to kind of shut the door and keep you at bay. But still a solid night, even better than last night, and it gives you, I hate to say points because it's only night 2, but still in good standing.
Yeah. I think those two guys are the best guys at Lincoln by a ways. So for us to be competitive with them is good. And like I said, I showed him. I knew I did it too. I didn't expect him to be as slow in entry, and I got next to him enough that he saw me, and I was like, man, that was not ideal. And then it was super hard once you got to traffic. Every car was on the bottom, so the 3 leaders kind of just had to start flogging the top until you could take your 2 laps to pass the lap car up there. And but yeah, for us, great night, and I feel like the direction we moved the whole time was right, and we have a better notebook moving forward at all these tracks because they're all similar in their own ways. So happy to come third. Like coming third isn't something to be happy about all the time, but tonight it was. I felt like it was a real step forward.
Got to be looking forward to Babs tomorrow. It's a place you won an outlaw show in the past, and it's kind of an equalizer. We talk about, you don't run there every week, even the guys around here. Yeah. So everybody's kind of, it levels the playing field at least a little bit, and you've had success before. So tomorrow has to be one you circle.
Yeah, sprint car racing though. Anything can happen. So yeah, I think it's crazy right now with how hard it is, how hard racing is. It kind of becomes circumstantial at times. If you get the right, it's not luck, it's just, if you zig instead of zag or zag instead of zig. But yeah, definitely enjoy that track, enjoy the way it races, and have had success a couple of times there. So kind of know, I think, the direction I need my car to be. I don't know if Drew's been there yet, so that might be new, but he's good on the tools, and we'll figure it out.
How does it feel kind of be back in Pennsylvania? How much are you looking forward to the rest of Speed Week? Because like you said, you haven't run the entire Speed Week that I know of, and now you get a chance to have a lot of races with this team to prepare for the month of money.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. Coming into, California Speed Week, you're 20 or 30 races behind everyone else in notes and things, but it's our job to figure it out. But yeah, just being able to sit in the car every night and work on things, like even tonight we just threw something at it that we kind of thought was the right direction, So, you know, then you can build on that and see if it actually is the right direction. But yeah, been to all the tracks that we're going to. Can't say I'm a huge fan of a lot of them. But yeah, it'll be cool to go back to Port and try and figure that out. You know, Grandview I've had a lot of fun out over the years, and obviously Baps, and you know, Hagerstown once, and Selinsgrove once. So yeah, it'll be fun to, like I said, just be in the car every night, and then get sort of a bigger notebook leading into the month of money, which is, you know, I want to tick off a crown jewel race. That would be a big bucket list thing for me to do.
Well, congratulations on a solid run.
Thanks, mate.
SprintCarUnlimited.com, coming from the final Steve Smith Senior Tribute at Lincoln, where we're second place finisher Danny Dietrich. Danny, when the feature started, 22nd, you were starting. Probably second seemed like a reach, but you got all the way up to second. What changed from the beginning of the night, when your timing terrible, to the feature?
It's hard to believe we timed 17th, I think it was, but it's not. Just the team didn't give up. We timed bad. We went out in heat race and just didn't feel comfortable. We came in, we changed the whole car. I mean, it was honestly, it was just a huge group effort, including with my brother next door, kind of giving a little input. And but I mean, mainly Jake, Troy, everybody here part of this team that can wrap their head around a little bit of really anything. Just trying to figure this thing out. Like I said, we're struggling. There's no doubt about it, but. We didn't struggle in the A-main. I just wish it was about 2 or 3 laps longer.
How frustrating has this stretch been for you? I mean, especially Ohio Speed, where you're usually good.
Let's be real. I mean, I was. I mean, it makes it easy to want to quit. I mean, you know, when you're not running good, and you're honestly not even finishing up front. You're not time trialing good. You're really not doing anything good. It makes you just want to take a break or just not do it. You know. We're very passionate about this with this race team, whether it's Gary or me or Jake or Chad or Sean or James or Eric or anybody, you know, just everybody's so passionate, even the sponsors, you know, so it makes it really, really, really tough. I don't want to leave you out, Troy. I think I'll miss Troy too, but it's just tough, you know. Had a regroup moment here earlier in the week and just had to figure this thing out, really, is what it comes down to.
At what point in the feature, I mean, I know you had to run the B-main, look sporty. Did you know you had something there for when you started the A-main, or was there a point in the A-main when you're like, whoa, okay?
No, I mean, like in the B, we changed some stuff there that felt really good. These guys come in there like, that looked really good. And I'm like, okay, well, that's pretty good considering we never changed the rear tires. We were so caught up doing everything else that I didn't tell Chad to do anything with the tires, and that's on me. But I mean, it was fine. It's like, man, we didn't change tires, and we were still that good. Like, we're going to be all right. You know, we're going to be really good here in the feature. Then they went out and lilied the top of 1 and 2, and man, like, I couldn't have even thought about driving around people's right rears and I would call it the fluff at that part of the racetrack at that time of the race, you know. And I could run in there, and them guys would try and stay below the whatever they tilt up there, and I just run above it and drive around them, and just trying to make quick work of people, really, honestly. Just got behind some guys that thought to myself, I need to be really aggressive, and the car was good enough to be aggressive, you know. And then, you know, you catch the outlaw guys, you got to race them like outlaw guys. You got to lean on them a little bit. That's how they race. You know, they got to race aggressive. And when your car's good, you can do that. When your car's not good, you know, you try and do that, you're going to run over them, and then you're a no good son of a bitch, you know. So I could drive in there and lean on them and knowing I wasn't going to drive through them, you know. And that's fun when you can race like that. So, yeah, just props to my team, my sponsors, Gary especially. We, you know, it's when we're passionate like we are, we don't always get along, and we get into some conversations we don't want to be in, you know, at times, because we don't like to struggle. You know, we're so used to being up front and competing for wins that when you're not, it's boy, it makes for a lot of problems.
When you're beating your head against the wall like that, I mean, you really got to have a short memory, and even just 10 minutes, 20 minutes, because it would have been easy for you to kind of mail it in the A-main. And where's that kind of come from? Because you've been bad for a couple weeks, and you had to change your mentality almost in 20 minutes or so.
I mean, you come in here and you just start scratching your head. And you gotta make adjustments. You gotta make adjustments now, and that's part of being a sprint car driver, a professional sprint car driver. Is you better be able to live with a really short memory. You know, I mean, there's times in the feature where, you know, you're going through 3 and 4, you're sliding Carson Aceto, or you're sliding, I don't even know, you know, Logan Schuhart, and or Freddie, and you go down to turn 1, you can't play defense. You know, playing defense never wins races. So you go back to the top of 1, I mean, you got to enter wide if you want any speed off of 2, and you know the slide job could be coming, but that short memory is sometimes not just 20 minutes, sometimes it's a matter of a straightaway, you know, but same thing goes from the heat race to the B main. You know, we did get ourselves in position to be in the B and starting up front. And honestly, we needed to be. You know, if we wouldn't have been in the B and I would have qualified through the heat, we probably wouldn't have made the wholesale changes to just change everything for the B and try something. And my God, it was good. You know, we needed that. We probably need that for tomorrow more, just as much as we need it for tonight. You know, we need it for Wednesday and Thursday. And I don't know, it just feels good to be a race car driver again.
Last thing, have you found something? You feel like you're on the, I know time trials will tell, I guess, tomorrow.
Honestly, that was the most comfortable I've been in a race car in a long time. Like I said, 2 more laps, I think we win the thing, maybe 3. But I mean, Chase is running the bottom of 3 and 4, and I mean, man, I was so good around the top. Like old me, you know, the cushion gets big and we can run her in there and just keep our straightaway speed up on exit, you know, keep our exit speed up going onto the straightaway, and just kind of mind-blowing to know you could have the speed that we did there in the A. You know, other times you think you're good, and then, like, that's good. You know what I mean? So, yeah, we'll roll that in tomorrow and see what happens.
Well, congratulations on being the show tonight.
Thank you.
SprintCarUnlimited.com, coming to you from Grandview Speedway, the Hodnick Cup. We're here with winner Anthony Macri. Anthony, obviously, good bounce back. Last night didn't go the way you wanted. It happened to Chase at the Grove, and you did the same thing he did, which is come back and win. Obviously, probably a little motivated coming into the night.
I think a little motivated is an understatement. I mean, obviously, you never want to miss a show, especially at the caliber of a team that I feel like we are, and you know, the kind of driver I am. So it was kind of embarrassing, but I mean, obviously this morning we found some stuff that wasn't right on the car. That was, you know, a result of having a not so good car in a B main. So I mean, it was a little bit of a sigh of relief to find something that was wrong in the car. But I mean, like you said, it's just motivation. I mean, to come back and to win is something that, and to win here is something I've always wanted to do. I mean, obviously, I've come in second and third plenty of times here, and I just wanted to finally check this one off the list.
It seemed to me last night there was probably some stuff wrong from that heat race crash that maybe you didn't find. That had to be a relief too, that it wasn't the car, you didn't have speed, or you. It was a mechanical thing that you guys just didn't find last night.
Yeah, I mean, obviously me and Joe were both frustrated last night. I mean, I was blaming the car. He said that I overdrove a little bit, which I mean I did. I was trying to compensate for you know, the car I had, but I mean, yeah, it's a sigh of relief that we weren't just that bad. I mean, obviously, I think I know how to drive, and Joe knows how to set a car up, so we found it unlikely that we were just that bad in a B main. And I mean, obviously, we had others that said the same thing to us. I mean, it is what it is. That was last night. That's history. But I mean, to move on tonight and to have speed all night long, and it's just a testament of this team, really.
Tricky track a little bit. I thought they were going to dig it up. They didn't, but they kept watering it. Ended up being 2 grooves there for the first half of the race. You were able to use pretty much everywhere, and you're able to get past Brady, which I thought was huge. And then obviously Logan, you were able to track him down and use the inside.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like there was 2 cars that we definitely needed to get by before the track really started to get used up, and that was James and Brady, and we were able to accomplish that. And I mean, from there, I just took a deep breath and focused on the racetrack and the car I had and what my car was doing and what I needed to do different, and just the whole works with the wing and everything. So once I got past Brady, I just started searching around, and then we got the lap traffic there, and I peeled down to the bottom, and it actually felt really, really good, and I knew I was probably going to be able to make something happen on the bottom there. It looked like Logan was pretty committed to the top, and I think Parker was too. So I knew I was going to have to make something happen on the bottom, or it was going to be a slide or die type deal on the top. But I felt like I was good enough on the bottom that I was going to be able to do something, and I mean, I was able to do it, exactly that. So I just had a good car. I mean, we were snug in the beginning, but that was our game plan. We knew we were going to be tight for the first 6 to 8 laps, and then we're going to be able to race for the middle section, and then it would probably rubber up towards the end, and we're pretty spot on with our prediction there. So I mean, I don't know, it's just we had a good car, and I was able to do my job to the best of it, to my ability.
You were able to find the rubber here once it did come, because it changes quick here and it comes quick, and you had to negotiate traffic. You ended up pulling away from Brady 3 seconds, I believe, by the end. I got to feel good that you were able to kind of see everything that was going on out there, make the right moves to get around traffic.
No, I've lost one in the rubber before, and I know I've raced here enough to know kind of what happens throughout the race. So I was just worried. I was worried about getting some lap cars between me and him as kind of a buffer, and I was able to still pound the top in 1 and 2 pretty aggressively, and get by a lap car or two, and then duck back down into the bottom of 3 and 4, and then it kind of got to a point where I really wasn't making any ground on the lap cars that were running the bottom in 1 and 2, so I knew it was time to peel down and protect in 1 and 2. So I mean, after that, I kind of just, not that I got complacent, but I knew what I had to do, and that was, protect the bottom. Somebody peeled my stickers off on the top, they were going to do it, and that's how they were going to win. So, yeah.
Just last thing, I got Port Royal tomorrow. Is it just searching for wins now? I mean, obviously you have 2 in Speed Week. I don't know, you're kind of a humble guy when it comes to this stuff. When you returned last week, if somebody would have told you had 2 wins, you'd probably be pretty happy in the first 5 races. Got to be pleased with where you're at, where the team's at. Despite last night, it was a mechanical issue. Got to be excited to get into the rest of the week and just add more wins.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have thought we had 2 wins by I don't even know what day today is. Tuesday?
It's the 5th one.
Yeah, it's the 5th one. It's day Grandview.
We're halfway.
Yeah, but I mean, to have 2 wins this early in the week and fresh off being out in the car for 3 months, it's refreshing for sure. I mean, I'm starting to feel way better throughout the week as the week goes on. I mean, physically and just smart with my move, getting smarter with my moves. I mean, I put myself in a position last night in the heat race to have happen what happened. So I just owned that, learned from it, and I feel like physically I am getting better, mentally getting there. But yeah, I mean, it's still a long week. It's supposed to get hotter. It's Speed Week, so yeah, we're 4th in points. I don't know what we will be after tonight, but I mean, I don't give up. I know my guys don't give up, so we still got a lot of fight left in us, and we'll see if we can make something happen.
Well, congratulations on a bounce-back win.
Thank you.
SprintCarUnlimited.com, coming to you from Port Royal Speedway. We're here with winner Chase Dietz, and Chase, you won a lot of different ways. That one, a little different. Anthony gets held up in traffic. I guess the lap car came up kind of where he was at, and you were at the right place. You were on the bottom and were able to sneak by.
Yeah, look, the way the surface was there tonight, it was pretty treacherous. I figured it was going to be look, you get in position from the start, and that was going to be the end of it. And we got to traffic there, and I could still hang with those guys, and it allowed me to kind of move around a little bit more. And I didn't feel that the ruts and stuff were kind of the way to go, to a point. But the biggest problem was trying to keep speed, and we got to traffic. I felt much more maneuverable than I think those guys were to a point. And I was staying out of the ruts, and James got really messed up running second by a lap car, and I got really close to him down the backstretch and was able to sneak under him coming out of 4. A couple laps later, the caution came out, and then for me at that point, Anthony was going to have to mess up for me to get to him, and we got the traffic again, and he was getting through okay, and I closed in enough at that point. Some of the lap cars really kind of messed him up there at the end, and the one kind of had him parked right in the middle of 3 and 4, and I was there and close enough, and I had kind of been working the bottom middle in 3 and 4. I knew where I needed to be at that point, so when that opportunity opened up, I cut across there and was able to get in front of him enough, and I'm pretty sure he got back underneath me going on the front stretch, but I was able to at least close the door to peek back underneath that lap car and get by him. And after that, I think we were coming around, it was 2 to go, and I was like, this couldn't have worked out any better, honestly. So yeah, that was really intense. That was tough on everyone. I don't know that anyone in the field probably enjoyed running around there in the ruts and kind of getting yourself all bottled up. But that's just, sometimes that's what you're going to get. Everyone's dealing with the same thing, and we were able to capitalize on good positioning all night. And we'll take that one.
I think people say ruts. It's different ruts on a quarter mile and a third mile than a place that's you're turning 16.8 in a feature, which they put new clay on a couple weeks ago, and it seems like it was heavy, got ruddy, and like I said, it's a little more treacherous when you're on a half mile going that fast.
Yeah, look, it was so hot today, and I'm sure they were trying to get as much water as they could. And, look, we all thought, probably them too, that we were coming here and it wasn't going to be anywhere close to that. But look, that's what we were given for today. That's the cards you were dealt, and everyone knows what we're getting into. But yeah, when you're going that fast, wide open, and you just catch a rut, and it's got the front end all over the place. You're really working in there, especially on a day like this. But it just makes things interesting, and that's honestly what made the race interesting at the end.
15 wins. I did a 90 at 9 earlier this week and said you're going to probably get to 15 this week. But also surpassed your earnings total of all of last year in half a season. Has that sunk in yet? Just how good you guys have been, the win total, and now also the earnings.
No, honestly, only because we're in Speed Week, and it's like, look, one race to the next, and we're focused on the end of the week here, and honestly trying to get that championship. At this point, for what we've been able to do this week is pretty awesome. I still think the most impressive part of it all, just for our team, was how we rebounded from Friday and be able to click off so many wins in a couple days after that. That's huge, because look, that was like the kick in the balls, honestly. To have that happen, you have the right people and the right mentality to kind of turn that around, and that just goes to show how good of a team we are, and that's why we're capable of doing this. So we still got a couple races left this week. We got a lot of racing yet for the year, and eventually some of that'll sink in, but all of us, we're still working to get to the next one and how to win the next one. Probably towards the end of the year, we'll dwell on it a little bit.
On to Hagerstown, so congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Welcome to another edition of the SprintCarUnlimited.com live show. I'm already having technical issues over here, but I think we're good now. Maybe it's the heat. Who knows? We got Hagerstown on. Well, it didn't start yet on the phone, and we're here to do our weekly live show. Sorry for moving it to Thursday. Was at Grandview on Tuesday. Did not go to Hagerstown today, so we figured we'd put a live show up and continue doing one every week. So let's go. Let's get into the chat and take your calls as well. Are you enjoying not being at Hagerstown tonight? I like Hagerstown. I wanted to do a live show, and this was the best place to put it. Hagerstown's about 2.5 hours away from me, and since I don't have the pay-per-view, I just figured this would be the night off, so to speak, and I'd be able to take care of Speed Week stuff. I got all my stats, earnings, podiums, top fives, laps led, finish for each driver, got that all done and caught up. Was able to catch up on my stats that I didn't get caught up on last weekend and just do some odds and ends. So it's not that I don't want to be at Hagerstown, and the heat really doesn't bother me at this point because I was out today. It was breezy. It's very hot, but it's not like it's unbearable. And I'm kind of 50-50 on it, I guess, to answer the question. I like Hagerstown. Don't get me wrong. But I'm not getting home at 1:30 in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, rolling out a 90 at 9, all that other stuff. It just gets to be too much. A friend of mine talked to the Tarleton 21 team, and they have been using a Trenton Schaefer TSR missile engine for all of Speed Week. Yes, Trenton Schaefer is the motor that they have. They're going to be switching to Toyota when they leave here, when they get through the Midwest, and it's been pretty reliable, and James has timed well, I think, pretty much every night except maybe Williams Grove. I think he was back a little bit, but it's been fast. So I think that's a kind of a good sign for Trenton Schaefer to have a team like that come in here and run one of his bullets. So I think that's a good advertising ploy there, so to speak. And then to have James McFadden, who now I think probably has the best average finish, considering Brady Bacon got upside down last night at Port Royal. So, I saw that. IRA stole the show again this week. That series is producing banger after banger. Yeah, I think they have a good on-track product. I think, again, the only thing they're missing is those household names that everybody knows. And I think that's sometimes why they don't get more publicity. It's kind of like the All-Stars. The All-Stars have a lot of good races. I saw that throughout last year, but they don't get the publicity, and it's because they don't have the stars. This sport is still driven by stars, but that doesn't mean they don't have a good on-track product. So I think Steve Sinclair does a really good job with that series, and I enjoyed my time in Wisconsin. Surprised that Logan Schuchart is at Hagerstown tonight. Is he using a freebie or he got special permission for that one? He's a hometown guy, so I'm assuming he got special permission. I was told most of the teams could run, if they would have come in, they could run Lincoln and Williams Grove. Now, again, Logan Schuchart's from here, so he gets a little bit of a bump. He gets the hometown freebie, so to speak. It is not one of his 4. He will be at Eldora using 2 of them at the Kings Royal Week for the Joker's jackpot. So, but like if Carson Macedo would go home to California, he can run. If Sheldon Haudenschild would go run Wayne County, he could do that because it's like a hometown discount almost. So am I surprised Logan is there? A little bit, but I also know he's performed well there in the past. So it's not surprising, just a little, okay, he showed up there. Thoughts on the Marks Newton incident on Monday night, 360 and tag the rear rule. That's close racing. Lincoln. I was up in turn. I was off turn 2, so kind of where it happened, I couldn't get a good visual on it. Mark said Newton got into him, and I'm not going to say he didn't, obviously. The 360 rule, I'm good with it. I don't like the blend rule for 360s because I think it's weird. I figured that would promote people just getting on the gas and taking out people, but that hasn't happened. They get on the gas anyway. It's just, to me, I don't think people know the rule. But look, I have no problem with 360 go to the rear. I do have a problem with the inadvertent yellows that we've seen more and more of. You know, if a guy's kind of in a half spin, we throw the yellow and you don't even give him a chance to get out of it or stop, and then he has to go to the rear. That I don't like. Okay, I'm not talking 360. Like, he just gets a little sideways. I saw it at Knoxville, and I was like, what? What's that? You know, are we going to get to a point where a guy gets crossed up on the cushion, and then we're going to throw the yellow and he has to go to the back? I don't like too many judgment calls because I don't feel the people making the calls are necessarily professional enough to do it. And I'm sorry if that sounds snarky or I just don't trust people to do it. It's not like I trust NFL referees way more. I trust referees in professional sports way more. I don't trust somebody who works at a photo mat and then is an official at a racetrack just on the weekends to get in free. I'm sorry. I don't view that as reliable. So if less judgment calls, I'm good. What was the deal with Haferteep Monday at Lincoln? Saw him signed in, then saw the Hills hauler pulling out later on. I don't know. I noticed that too, but till I noticed it, they were already going out the door. I would assume they had a problem. I didn't see anything, and that one sneaked by me because I saw the Hills trailer leaving, and I'm thinking, whose is that? But I wonder if that is an old trailer that maybe Bernie was using. Not sure. So I'm wondering if that was the old Hills trailer and somebody was using it. Because I did not see Haferteep's car there when I walked down pit road. But again, I really didn't look at the My Race Pass roster either. I got there and I was kind of working on some other things and talking to some guys, and I might have missed that. I apologize. Where was Shots and Based Monday night? Shots, they were supposed to come, and they were really bad at Cedar Lake, so they figured they were going to regroup. Based, I guess, cracked up some equipment, and because of that, they went home. So it was just two guys who had a bad weekend and change of plans. I think you're right. The Hills trailer was at Grandview. Yeah, I don't think that wasn't Haferteep. I think that's the trailer that Bernie's using. Tanner Thorson has slid back to fourth in points. Yes, he has. And if Marks keeps performing the way he is, he's going to slip back to fifth. So I know Lauda was on here. I don't know if we'll see him tonight because obviously at Thursday, I tried to get it out there as much as I could that we were moving to Thursday. But he asked that question. a few weeks ago. Where does Tanner Thorson end up? I still believe 4th or 5th, but Port Royal's coming up, and that's not a place Thorson is really good, and they have 5 races there. That's bad. That's where that's kind of Marks, and Marks can do well there, and he'll catch him. So it's going to be interesting, but I still say 4th or 5th. Brady Bacon, okay? Yes. Yeah, he talked on the mic last night, and I touched on his performance in the 90 at 9 this week. I think he's every bit as good of a wing driver as he is in the non-wing ranks. I think he's made that progression. I think he's running here has helped him tremendously as opposed to the Midwest. And I think he's every bit as good in a wing car now. But yes, he is okay, and he is at Hagerstown tonight. As I stated on last week's live, Chase Dietz will go 6 for 10. He's on his way. He has 4. Should have been 3-3 between Macri and Chase Dietz. Buddy Schweibens kind of, I don't know what he was doing. He was all over the place there. And really, I mean, Anthony had to check up and do all sorts of things. So that allowed Chase to get by, but that's part of sprint car racing. I know Anthony wasn't happy afterward, understandably so. And because I think he had that one in the bag. So we'll see what happens tonight at Hagerstown, and 6 for 10, that could be, but I think rain could also be an issue Sunday, maybe Saturday, depending. So we'll see how this develops. I will say, though, it's Anthony Macri and Chase Dietz. Everybody else is way behind these two right now. James McFadden's been decent, but still behind the other two guys by what I feel is a significant amount. I didn't go to Hagerstown this year either. Getting out is a pain in the butt since it's only one way out. Well, that's what I mean. I'm just, I'll tell you what, the Steve Smith race and the Port Royal race killed me because you're just getting home so late. I'm an hour and 20 minutes from both of them. And while I understand starting later because of the heat Wednesday, there's no sense of urgency then. And the last feature was done at, 11:20 or so when I was walking out. And I just, it's, I got a lot to do at night. So I just figured a live show would be better tonight. Jeremy, was the last time Billy Dietrich outran Danny Dietrich. Chase's speed weeks. Wow. Jeremy, when was the last time Billy Dietrich outran Danny Dietrich? Chase has speed week set, I believe. It's probably been a while. Danny, I can't explain it. Simple as that. I could give you some BS explanation. I thought Danny would come out of it once he was charged from 22nd to 2nd in the Steve Smith tribute race. It didn't happen. Didn't time well at Grandview. Didn't time well last night. He was 6th at Grandview. I think he probably gets a little higher if it doesn't rubber up. Port Royal wasn't the raciest joint last night because of the new clay. I'm hoping it's better on Saturday. Danny just isn't good right now. And there's no way to sugarcoat it. Now, he didn't qualify last night, so if you go by the trend, he's going to win tonight at Hagerstown. Whether that happens, I don't know. How do you think Chase will do at Eldora? He has laps there, and I think he was 3rd in a Silver Crown car there, so I don't think it's going to be an overwhelming thing. I think he'll make the A main. I don't think he's going to contend for the win. I do think there's certain guys there. I think you have to run there more to contend for a win at a track like that. And an event like that where it's all the heavy hitters are there. So, but I do expect him to make the A-main. Thanks for all your insight and content. Great job. I appreciate that. Can you verify Buddy Schweibens is disgruntled Macri concrete customer? No, but Anthony was pretty hot after that. And again, rightfully so. I don't know if they'll talk. I don't know. I mean, there's nothing to say. Here's the thing though. Buddy Schweibens doesn't do that often. Buddy Schweibens has been pretty good. I've not heard anything else. I think he just made a mistake or he was just not that good at Port Royal. Whatever the case is, it wasn't good, but it's not something that he's habitual at. It's not something you see every week. I definitely think he's going to be a good driver in this area. $69K has become a field filler. They have not looked good this week. Except at Babs Motor Speedway. I don't know if something went away there in the feature. Chase Dietz was able to do things that other guys couldn't. He could get through the middle, and I think he set up Ryan Smith perfectly. I don't think Ryan Smith really knew where to go there, leading the race at Babs. And then James got by him. Look good at Babs. Lincoln's not that car's strong suit. Grandview really hasn't been there that much. Port Royal, that was disappointing. Got up to sixth, was passing cars, and then it just dropped off. So I don't know if something happened late in the A-main last night, but it's definitely not what we expect from the 69K. And I think that's kind of been like that all year. Darren Pittman gave it a good ride out at Skagit. Darren's very good at Skagit. He's won there before. I just think they're a little off right now. Hey, Jeremy and Eric, just checking in. I made it to PA from North Carolina, ready for the Grove tomorrow. Your pick to win. Ryan and I just picked, there will be no podcast this week. Ryan's on the way to the beach. So I apologize to all my subscribers. We have made our picks. I think tonight I have Schuhart. Ryan has, who does he have? I think he has Dietz. I'm pretty sure he has Dietz. And then tomorrow, I'm not sure who he has. He might have Macri. I took Marks. I'm taking Marks for the Mitch Smith. Looked good at Lincoln, was running top 5. Then obviously the incident with Ryan Newton. I think Marks has been good at the Grove for a few years now. And I think he gets it done on Friday night. I think he could be the first non-Macri Dietz winner in Pennsylvania Speed Week. How long till a big-time Wing 410 team comes calling Briggs Danner? I don't know if it's going to happen. And the reason is because he's running non-wing. And while he's run wing cars before, I just don't know if there's room at this point. You have Steven Snyder Jr., who's had some success in a wing car where he's won a couple races. You have, the Logan Seavey thing. You have, I just don't know if there's rides out there for guys. I think remember, Tyler Courtney, they basically started a team for him. Chris Windham, it just so happens Jason Sides couldn't race anymore and Chris Windham moved over, but of course he was in the Vermeer car first. I don't know if there's a lot of space. I think Briggs Danner's good. I like what he's doing in a non-wing car, but man, just not a lot of rides out there. And I don't know if you're going to take him over some of the other guys who are available at this point. I know you won't like it, but Gage Polkerback has committed to the rest of the high limit schedule. I don't, why wouldn't I like it? I don't he was running them anyway. He was at most of them anyway. It doesn't matter to me really at all. I don't mean to be, it's not something that I don't like or really even thought about. So if you're good enough, they make space. That's true. But with I don't know if sprint car people or sprint car owners necessarily choose drivers based on talent all the time. I think there's a lot that goes into it. I think it goes to sponsorship, their friend, people. I think they recycle guys. You wish it was that way, but I don't always think it happens that way unless you're just lights out good. And I like Briggs Danner, and I think he's doing a good job. I think he's really progressed with USAC, but I just don't know if it's enough to get a ride with a Wing 410 team. And is he going to want to run in Central Pennsylvania? Is he going to want to run regionally? If he's going to want to run nationally where he can make more money like he is with USAC, that's going to limit the pool a little more. So there's variables there. Good to see World Racing Group easing up on the restraints. I'm assuming you're referring to the Emerson Axum thing with Casey Jedrzejek. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is that kind of what you mean by that? If not, let me know, because I'll explain that one. Logan Schuchart, I believe. Oh, okay. You mean the restrict. Logan's run that race before. I believe he won it, if I'm remembering correctly. So it's just a hometown thing. They've done that all the time. That isn't new. They've done that for years. Who do you think's going to win Speed Week title? I think it's going to be Chase Dietz. And the reason is because I don't think he's going to finish out of the top 5. Now, there's 25 points between first and second, which I like that. I wish the Outlaws did that. I wish that would be great. But I do think and I don't know what's going to happen over the weekend with rain. I know it's not looking great at Sealands Grove, but he's good enough at Port and the Grove. And I think Hagerstown tonight is a key for him. If he top threes it tonight, puts it on the podium, because he just doesn't have a lot of laps there. Tonight's critical, but I'm still going to go with Chase Dietz. Hammaker made the right decision to start 19th. Oh, it was great. He made over 9. He made, what was it? I figured it out today. It was like 9,000. It was over $9,500 to finish 19th. I would have done it. If I would have been, now easy. Hindsight's 2020. It's easy to say it after the fact, but Chase Dietz was lining up front. So to win it, I don't know. It was a great decision by Hammaker. Knew it wouldn't get by him. Schatz is 6th in points, just like last year, plus only one more win than last year. Can you really say his season's been much better? Yeah, I can say it. His consistency's better. I think Sheldon Hadenschild's better than last year. I think that's a fair statement. I think if Logan Schuchart, depends what happens here, I think Schatz gets back by him. His stats are better than last year across the board. Top 10s, top 5s. His qualifying's a little better. I just think Sheldon is leaps and bounds better than he was last year. So I think that's a guy who gets past him. Schuchart's kind of, I don't want to say he's had a resurgence, but he's looked better, I would say, recently. Thoughts on the Casey Jedrzejek Axum dust up? Well, I guess it took place at a driver's meeting. I didn't see the video. I've heard about it as far as what happened on track. I don't know if Axum got out of shape and then Jedrzejczyk plowed into him. Not really 100% sure on that. But you can't try and choke a guy at a driver's meeting. That's no bueno. You can't do that. Okay? So I know some people have said, oh, the Outlaws are being, nitpicky or whatever. I don't see it that way. They gave him a $500 fine and probation. They're a rich team. They're on the road with the World of Outlaws. $500 is nothing. And if you keep your nose clean, it's going to go away. But you can't threaten a guy, which he did twice, according to people I talked to who were there. He threatened him twice, and it was very brief. It wasn't like he choke slammed him, and all the rumors started to circulate. He had him on the ground wrestling around. No, that didn't happen. It was very brief. It wasn't. People grabbed Axum, so it wasn't anything like that. And Jedrzejczyk didn't pop off at him. He just kind of didn't really acknowledge Emerson. So I guess that made Emerson mad, and that's what he did. So $500, I have no problem with it. What's with High Limit dropping their standard $12,000 to win a main purse this year? Last year, it was the same as Woo. Now it's less. Then High Limit ran for only $10,000 to win in Montana last weekend. I figured this was coming at some point. I talked to Brad about this, and Brad said, we did lower things a little bit. It wasn't much. They were transparent with their teams. The teams didn't have a big problem with where they did it. And it's all because some of their partners, in other words, the racetracks, requested it. So it was the management of High Limit working with racetracks. The people, the different racetracks are on their schedule. It was a request. They worked it out. The drivers were apparently okay with it and not a problem. I've been in High Limit pit areas a couple different times this year, and usually I hear all that stuff. I've heard no complaining about it. Not from one. I have not heard anything about this other than when I noticed it, I asked Brad about it, and then I asked a couple teams, and they said, not a big deal. And it's probably because they can run more six-figure paydays than the Outlaw guys can. It's also probably because they have a $50,000 to win show at Eagle. So I think the guys are accepting because they get to run for more big money throughout the year. It's my understanding. Braden Sage. We might call Braden Sage then. During the night, Braden's always fun. Hagerstown update, hotter than Satan's balls. Yes, it is hot. We know it's hot. I was out today, and I was going to go mow my dad's lawn, and I said, I'm not going to do that. So now I know it's hot. Everybody stay hydrated out there. We'll be giving updates. They're actually starting hot laps now. So they are definitely not on time. But they start late anyway down there. Always have. Quit whining with excuses. What about the teams, drivers, and crews dealing with the Speed Week schedule? It's not me whining. I didn't want to go. I have a live show. When was I going to do my live show? And whether you know it or not, and I'm not saying I work as much as the drivers and teams, I'm up later than the drivers and teams. It's not a contest. I just didn't want to go to Hagerstown. I didn't want to drive 2 hours and 45 minutes. And to me, it was wasting time. I could be on a live show doing something else. And I thought this was more important. The heat does not bother me. I'll be at the Grove tomorrow, and the heat index is supposed to be 109. So Do you think Macri still has a chance to win Speed Week Championship this year? Yeah, he has a chance. I think tonight's huge. I think he's won at all these tracks. Hagerstown, I don't know if he has a win at Hagerstown, but he's decent at Hagerstown. But he can win at the Grove. Obviously, I'd say he's probably better at the Grove than anyone. And that car is especially. And Port Royal last night, he was in charge of that one. He could win at all these places. So yes, he definitely has a chance. Only 24 cars at Grandview seems low compared to the turnouts at the other tracks. Grandview always gets a lower car count. It's usually bounces between 29 and 31, but you had some things change. I mean, Lucius didn't go down there. Took his seat out of the 39. That's another car. There's two just right out of the gate without even, I know some other cars were banged up a little bit and they didn't go down. There's still 14 guys who've run every race for Speed Week, which that's high. So yeah, Grandview's always lower. It's usually, again, it's that between 27 and 31 usually is where it bounces around. And you didn't have some fringy guys like a Briggs Danner who's now running USAC full time. You get some guys from down there and you just didn't get them. Macri has no wins at Hagerstown. Thank you very much. I know he's been in the top 5 down there. I couldn't remember if he stole a win. Biggest surprise during Speed Week so far, in your opinion? The top 4 drivers outside of Tarleton not making the A main. Dietz didn't make an A main. Macri didn't make an A main. Wagaman didn't make an A main, and Dietrich didn't make an A main. If you would have given me odds on that, I would have bet every dime I owned that those 4 drivers wouldn't miss an A main this week. So that's the biggest surprise, is that. I think from a driver standpoint, I like what Logan Rumsey has done. I think Logan Rumsey should have won at the Grove last week. Maybe if they get the traffic, Macri gets them. Don't know if they would have gotten there. Ryan Newton looks really good. I like what Ryan Newton's done. Wasn't really great at Grandview, timed poorly, but he went out late and that track dropped off a ton. I'd say from a driver standpoint, those 2 guys, and then of course those guys missing the A main. I would have never guessed that. PA Speed Week is not working man friendly at all. It's not that. All the tracks have done most of the tracks have done a pretty good job of getting you out at a good time. I just didn't feel like driving 2 hours and 30 minutes or whatever number it is, maybe 2:45, and then getting home at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. Plus, they start later down there. They always do. And I just didn't want to do it. And again, I have the live show, and this is a commitment as much as going. So I get to talk to you fine people tonight. But, the Lincoln thing dragged on a little bit. I understand it. Maybe could have been done a little better. Port Royal, there was just no sense of urgency last night, I guess. I'm going to use the word urgency. If you start late, that's fine. Let's get it done. And there were just some gaps there and just got late. I would love to see Rumsey get his win. He's been so close. He already has a win at Williams Grove this year. Thought he was in the running last week. And I think he's going to get another one this year. That 71 car is fast. I also like the look of it. I like it better than the way his own car looks, but I think he gets a win again this year and puts 2 on the board. Speed Week, going to be a little tougher to get another one at Speed Week. I just think those other 2 guys are really good, but hey, he could have won last week at Williams Grove. Another Hagerstown update. Seating flights needs to happen. it's not going to happen here. We don't even really tech that well. So, meaning across the board. So, we're not sure as hell not going to seed flights. That's a pipe dream. Update on the lost Trone parting. What seems to be the issue with the revolving door of drivers? This one had nothing to do with the crew chief. It had nothing to do with the owner. This was with the crew. I guess according to JJ, they were bagging on him. They bagged on him. He comes in and it's, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, or whatever. And his dad got sick of it, and JJ got sick of it. So that was it. In fact, talking to Kevin Fry, I wrote a story on SprintCarUnlimited.com the next day, and Kevin Fry didn't even really know what was happening. He was in the trailer working on something, and he heard all this yelling, and that's what happened. Now, JJ said he was going to talk to John Trone the next day, and he was going to say it's either them or me. Well, apparently it's him as far as out the door. So JJ doesn't have anything right now. John Trone the Trone car doesn't have anybody right now. Kevin Fry said they might sit for a couple weeks. I'm quite sure they've gotten calls. I think, too, they've had some guys in it who've gone somewhere else. Like Cameron Smith was in it, and then he got a better opportunity somewhere else. Cale Thomas was in it. He went back home and ran his family car, and then ended up getting calls from Jacob Allen and, of course, the 49X. So I think some of it's that they're a bridge team almost. And you never want to see an iconic car in this area turn into that, but I think that's been part of it. Love Jerry canceling this weekend after pocketing all my money at the gate, tax Monday. I saw the meme. I think everybody has seen the meme. And I can't remember a promoter having a meme like that. It's been I can't. Now, we're still new. I guess we didn't have memes like that 15 years ago, but I've never seen anything like that. Obviously, people were upset. They still showed up for the Smith race. Could it have been bigger? Yeah, it could have been bigger. There were some holes in the grandstand. Still a good turnout, and it was a good event. Again, Brian Lepo did a great job getting sponsorship and really bringing that to Lincoln Speedway. And he spearheaded that, and I think put a lot of money in Lincoln's pocket. Show has passed a half hour, and he hasn't mentioned gravel or Kofoid yet. I haven't been asked anything about gravel or Kofoid yet, so I won't mention them. Prediction for Chase's success off the porch the next 2 months. Didn't get meaningful laps at Knoxville, had engine trouble. I think Knoxville's going to be tough. I think he has a better crack at making the A-main at Eldora. I think he does make the A-main for the Kings Royal and probably the Joker's Jackpot as well, especially with the formats. But I think he'll do okay. My expectation isn't that he goes out there and wins the Kings Royal or Knoxville Nationals or even runs top 5. Guys, he has very little road experience. Very little. And the car is fast. Again, I think making the A-mains is really good. That's solid. Didn't see any post by Danny Dietrich. Usually after a performance like that, he hits social media full blast. Yeah, I mean, Danny usually owns it. I've seen him many times own bad performances. I just think he's pretty beat up about it. Even when I talked to him Monday night after he went 22nd to second, he was happy, but he just looked exhausted. And I think he's fried a little bit. So I don't know. Maybe he just decided to keep quiet and get down to business at Hagerstown. We'll see how he does. What's going on with Lance this week? He said it himself. They are struggling. I feel bad because I wrote about him after 2 top 5s out of the gate, and I almost feel like a jinx. They just haven't been good. They didn't qualify well. No speed. Last night at Port, he got caught on the last lap by Rumsey in the B main. I don't know if something happened, and then he just ran at the back in the A main. They're just not good, and I think it's streaky. He went through a streak of top 5 finishes, just like guys across the country are. There's very few people who are consistently good. You go through a streak of pretty good runs, and then there's a dip. And I've seen that this year more than at any other point in the last 10, 15 years. And I just think Lance had a good run of top 5s, which obviously I documented. And then now he's dipping again. It's just not good. Hagerstown's a place he should be. It's one of his favorite tracks. So we'll see how he does tonight. Hypothetical. I always love them. Dietz wins Speed Week and has most wins in the country. Macri wins Knoxville Nationals. Who had the better season? That depends on the team. Every team looks at it differently. That's a tough question. I think if Macri wins the Knoxville Nationals, he will consider the season a huge success. It's the race everybody focuses on. The $200,000 is nice, but it's still Knoxville Nationals. It's the biggest race of the year. It will always be the biggest race of the year. And I think anybody who wins that views the season as a success. I don't think either guy is going to be upset with their seasons if that happens. As far as which one's more important, I think Anthony Macri will trade to Knoxville Nationals for 15 wins and a Speed Week title. I believe that. Now, I don't know if that'll be the case, but again, each team looks at things differently. Darren Pittman looks at the Chili Bowl as more prestigious than the Knoxville Nationals. I don't get it, but okay. Everybody's different. Lance being a golfer, did you give him your Scotty Scheffler jinx? I might have. I actually told him about that. He kind of chuckled. So I don't know. I always feel bad when I write about a guy and then they don't do well. And I have no effect on it. I'm not about to sit here and say that I mean anything in that regard, but I still feel bad sometimes. Were you surprised by the crowd at Lincoln on Monday? No, I wasn't. I expected a good crowd. Should have been better. Look, there was still a little bit of aluminum in those grandstands. The infield was packed. I thought the infield was excellent. The Steve Smith thing was going to draw people there. Steve Smith is a legend in this area. So I knew people, even though they were grumbling about the admission price, were still going to go. I heard the pay-per-view number was good, which I expected. I mean, it's a Monday night. You have Carson Macedo. You have Brent Marks, $50,000. You have nothing else going on, so I knew that would be good. And they had a really good crowd, and they did very well. So I'm not surprised. I guess we're going to start time trials now at Hagerstown, which, by the way, it's 8:15. So my 2.5-hour ride it's already 10:45. James McFadden's fastest in hot laps, followed by Ryan Smith, Freddie Raymer, TJ Stutz, and Ryan Newton. Watch Ryan Newton. Looks really good all week. He's had some misfortune. Grandview, that's where he just drew a late pill, and that place drops off. Dropped off a lot this week. I know it's been going on for years, but what does Danny Dietrich struggle with the most in time trials? What do they point the issues to? I don't know. He doesn't know. If he knew, he'd fix it. He's changed motor programs. He's changed cars. He's changed. I don't know. He races fantastic. Danny Dietrich can race. He can pass cars. Always just suspect in qualifying. I don't know why. And if he doesn't know, I sure as hell don't know. So they just can't put their finger on it. No question this week. Just make sure to hit the like button. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Kreit's doing a lot of testing when Ryan is in the car. They want it good for Pittman. Yeah, but I can't see them just throwing races away. And I know somebody on that team, and they're scratching their head a little bit. They feel they should be better. Not going to run 30 races testing and just blow it off. Pittman doesn't run enough. But again, they just got to improve. They're down in Hagerstown. That car's usually good down there. So again, we'll see what they do tonight. Who among the winless National Series drivers will pick up a series victory soon? Garrett Williamson. I think Garrett Williamson's really come along. I don't think it'll be too long till we're going to see him in victory lane. Look good at Cedar Lake. And I could see him stealing one before Knoxville. Do we think Ryan Smith returns to the 69K next year? Who would be your ideal driver for that car if it happens? I like Ryan Smith. Hopefully, that doesn't happen. Anthony Macri is on the track. Ooh, early time trial for Anthony Macri. I'm going to say he sets quick time tonight. He doesn't even need to come out that early, and he can do that. Ideal for that car. I don't know if there's anybody in this area who stands out to me, just from a driving style standpoint. I don't think that car's good blasting around the cushion, and I think it suits a certain type of driver. I don't think it's made like Logan Wagner. He won races, but I don't know if he was the right fit. So, wow, that's a tough question. Tough question. Somebody said Lance DeWeese back in it. I don't think Lance gets back in that car. I think he likes the Eichelberger situation. I just think they're still trying to work through some things. Man, that's a tough one. That is tough. And I don't think they're the type to go with a young guy. They had Dave Bealey years ago. They had Ryan Smith years ago, but I think the team was in a different spot at that point. I don't think Lance is going to go back to that car. It's wishful thinking. It's wishful thinking. I don't know. I'd have to think about that for a while. Now, speaking of, Lance is on the or no, that's not Lance. Is it Lance on the track? I have it on my phone, so it's tough to see. Yeah, that's Lance on the track. Kenny Adams deep dive update. I got to get back on the deep dive. This is getting stupid now. I had somebody for last week. I had two people last week, and I couldn't get them then. I kind of just haven't done a good job with booking these guests, and I need to really next week. Speed Week's over. It's before the Kings Royal. I need to book a few of these things and get them in the can for when things come up. That's on me, and I apologize. But Kenny Adams, definitely a guy I'm going to reach out to. Deep Dive Van May, same thing. Same thing. Deep dive on Brian Lepo. I've already done Brian Lepo. Did it last year. I might have done it this year. I don't know. I've done it in the last 6-7 months, I think. Were you surprised that Devin Borden didn't go to Port last night considering past success? No. After the stuff I saw this week, No, I'm not surprised at all. The Lincoln deal where he kind of drove into the pit area, left his car doors open. He was late. I don't know what that was. And then that 45 car at Babs just disorganized. And no, I'm not surprised at all. That, I don't even know what that is. I just don't. I don't. Disorganized. Logan Rumsey gets a win finally in Speed Week. Kid deserves it. Got to complete the deal. I don't know if he gets one for Speed Week. Port Royal is Saturday. It's going to have to come at the Grove. And he really says he's better at Lincoln, but I beg to differ. I think he's better at Williams Grove. And with Marks there and the way Chase is running and Anthony's running, I know last week he should have won one, but you can't get off those three guys at this point. Still need the Jeff Shepard deep dive. I don't know if he'd do it, but yes, thank you for the suggestion. Let's see where we're at in time trials. Deep dive Doug Wolfgang. God, this is so small. And they have and I'm not picking here, but they have a scroll thing, and I put it along the side. It just scrolls too much, and you just can't watch it properly. But Doug Wolfgang would always be a good one. Eric, the producer. How about, of course, Eric's putting that up. Nice to see Quirin and Rudeen working together to better sprint car racing. Probably upsets Brian Carter, but so be it. I don't know. I just think Carter's probably okay because he doesn't lose a race. Quirin's going to do what Quirin does. Okay? People aren't going to tell Quirin what to do. That's one thing. I think it's good. If I can get some, and I hate to say this, if I can get some advertising and kind of replenish this pay-per-view money, it's an interesting slate for me because I can go to Skagit, I can go to Huset's, and then come back for Speed Week, and I think that's a lot of good content possibilities, and I think the racing will be really good too. I'd like to get to all three of those events, and I think it would be really good for people who watch YouTube and also subscribe to the site. So I think the content we've had this week has been pretty good from Speed Week. I didn't do much today because, quite honestly, nothing happened at Port Royal last night. I know that doesn't sound sexy, but it just didn't. So, but no, I think it opens up a lot of possibilities, and I agree with you. I do think it helps better sprint car racing. So I'm glad they were able to pull that off. Sisney has out-timed Macri. What is happening? Really? Let me look here because I have to look to make sure that that's true. Just because it's hard for me to believe. I think Sisney would even tell you that. McFadden, Dietz, Whittall, Sisney. Wow. Dietrich laid down a good lap, it looks like. Boy, that's really hard to see on a phone. Oh, just kicked me out. Nope, we're back now. We're back. McFadden's first. Look out. All right, sorry. I should probably have it on my laptop. Sisney 13.729 and Macri's 8.50. I wonder if the track was too sloppy early. That happens at Hagerstown too. It gets better as you go on because it's so sloppy early because they water the crap out of it. So that also could be a possibility. That's not an excuse. It happens. If anybody who's been to Hagerstown, that it can be soupy early and you want to draw later. What's the record for Speed Week wins in a year? I think Stevie Smith, when he was in Raymer's car in 2015, had 5 wins. And they had a couple rainouts too. He was this Dietz thing this year, and I said this in a 90 at 9, it reminds me of when Stevie was in that 51. Just the amount, obviously he's winning more. Stevie didn't run as many races, but just their dominance in Central PA. And Dietz has been good when the Travelers come in. The Outlaws, he had a couple top 5s. High Limit, he had a top 5 at Grandview. I think he's going to be in the hunt for the Weikert and the Tuscarora 50. Very similar to me, just the way it looks. So, but to answer, it's 5. I believe it's Stevie Smith in 2015 with Raymer. McFadden, Quick Time, and Flight A. Why are you dividing up the flights with 33 cars? Quick Time and Flight A at Hagerstown, followed by Dietz, Whitall, Sisney, Macri, Wagner, Dietrich, Raymer, Karkland, and Zierfoss. That's good for me in the Corey Nishaw poll. The Macri thing, he'll come up. But I have Dietrich. So I just don't know why you're running 2 flights for 33 cars. Don't understand that. Logan Schuhart, Hagerstown win July 4th, 2024. There you go. I knew I was there for it. Schatz has 10 top 5 this year. He only had 11 total last year. Agreed. Schatz is better this year. This idea that he's not is ridiculous. The numbers don't lie. Yes, Flight A is stacked down there. I didn't see Huset's replay or what started the Martin Casey deal, just the aftermath. Yeah, I don't even remember it. Everything that went on that week, I just don't. I can't remember it. No, you know what? I vaguely do now. Over in turns 1 and 2, I was in 3 and 4. And that's when Casey got hurt. Yeah, I couldn't see down there what happened, but it didn't look good. I saw the replay. I'm just trying to remember it in my head. I don't think Casey did anything wrong, if I remember correctly when I first saw it. I think Casey Jedrzak's been pretty good this year. I've been impressed by him. What do you think the split field sweet spot is? 35. I think the Outlaws are pretty close to it on this one. 35, 36. 17, 18, 18 and 18. I don't disagree with this statement. Judging a guy with 300 plus wins and 10 titles by his top 5 shows how far he has fallen. I don't disagree with that. I think that's fair. I think we can't expect him to be the 300 plus win guy from the time he starts to the time he retires. And I know you could say, well, then just get out of it. Well, he's not doing that. So you got to adjust the bar a little bit because he's not that guy anymore. And I think it's fair to say that, and I think Donnie would say that. I don't think he has the team. I don't think he's that guy, the same guy. I think there are a lot of variables, and he's one of them. I don't disagree with that statement. And but I think that's Steve Kinzer. I think that's Sammy Swindell. I think that's a lot of guys. Michael Jordan at the Wizards wasn't Michael Jordan with the Chicago Bulls. I think Joe Montana in Kansas City, while good, wasn't the same in San Francisco. Now, the variables, again, were different. Didn't have Bill Walsh. But I think we could say that for a lot of athletes. When do you think Chris Window will get his first Wing 410 sprint car win? Window. I think you mean Wyndham. Don't know. I think Garrett Williamson will get it first. Grove canceled yet for the Heat like a couple weeks ago? No. And this just reinforces what I said back then, which was the only reason that Grove did it was because they knew they weren't going to get a crowd and none of the stars were there. It had nothing to do with Heat. Nothing. This proves it. Is anybody going to stick in the Trone 39? How long will John keep fielding a car? I think that depends on John's health, really. I don't think it depends on drivers or crew chiefs or anything. I think it all depends on his health. And again, he enjoys the car. I think it, regardless if it wins, loses, I think it keeps him, I don't want to say it keeps him alive, but I do think it keeps him going. If he wants to do it, that's fine. I'm not going to begrudge a guy. I know he's done a lot for the sport. He's sponsored a lot of stuff. His health is improving, which I know a month ago you didn't think that was going to happen with the situation he's in. He's fighting it. Still needs a new heart. So I think it's just as long as he wants to do it or his health allows. Will you be doing a live show on Sunday since you're probably not attending Sealands Grove? I don't know yet. Eric's supposed to go. I don't know if he's gotten his request back or not. Only he can answer. He's shaking his head no. However, I don't know yet. Stay tuned on that. What do you think about the spin roll at Lincoln? Marks had nobody around him to hit him. In my opinion, I think they should rethink that rule. I don't. You can't have judgment calls. You can't have a rule based on how many people are around you, because then you're going to have judgments and then people are going to get it wrong. I don't trust officials. They don't do it for a living. I don't get a window guy to put my roof on my house. So you got to make it plain and as black and white as possible. We got to have rules in this sport that are black and white. Just because somebody was around them or not around them is irrelevant to me. Simply because we can't have nice things. That's it. I just don't. I mean, I wish we did, but we don't. So I'm okay with the rule. I don't like the blend rule because then you have these guys get in there and they gas it up and then they run into half the field, or they jam it up and everybody rolls into them. You can't have judgment calls, especially at some of these tracks. Jesus. And places like Narc and all that. I mean, you just can't. Black and white. That's it. Don't do the 360. I know somebody got into them. I get it. I don't even like the rule where if you're avoiding a crash and spin out, you get your spot back. Didn't used to be that way. You stopped. That was it. It was plain and simple. So made it too difficult now to officiate these things. Come on, Jeremy. You know you're not at Hagerstown because it's not in PA for Speed Week race. No, that is no, that's not it. No, actually, I like Hagerstown. Nice facility. Track's always nice, and it produces a decent race. So no, that's nothing to do with it. It's funny though. Merch update. Did you get together with Sugar Bear? I did. And today I've done 2 revisions to a shirt. I'm going to have 2. I'm going to have 2 designs. The first one's just going to have the 90 at 9 across the front, and that's it. The logo for the 90 at 9. The second one is going to have SprintCarUnlimited.com over the heart, and then I'll have a design on the back with all 3 logos. And I'm making some changes to that. They said they were going to try and get me a proof tonight. I would have showed you guys, but it should be in the works real soon. Where you're going to be able to get them. With Ohio and PA tracks successfully promoting big non-sanctioned events, are the tracks learning that they don't need to pay Woo or High Limit to pack the stands? Lincoln stands look good Monday night. They did look good. I would say that you had somebody outside promoting that event more than the track. Just look at the Twitter and the Facebook page. I think that was a one-off. I think that was an oddity. That's not the norm. I don't know if these the crowds were down last Friday. It was down at Port Royal last night. It was down at Lincoln on Saturday night. So I would push back a little bit that successfully promoting these events. I would not, and the PA series races have not been great. Path Valley last week got killed. There was hardly anybody in the stands. Their car count wasn't good. They had a $4,000 sanction fee for the PA series races. I think there could be some better promoting going on. And I think it's going to have to eventually come to better promoting, or they're just going to go away. So I think they still need World of Outlaws and High Limit, because a World of Outlaws event and a High Limit event in this area sells itself. You don't have to do much. Just roll it out. So I would push back a little bit on the successfully promoting part. Do you notify the callers nursing home that you moved the show to Thursday? Shame on you if you did. That's rough, man. That's rough. Shrewd. That's gangster there. No. What are you doing there? What are you doing there, Eric? He likes that comment. He's just going to stick it up. He's giving me the one to go sign. All right, where are we at in time trials? This is flight 2. God. Ryan Newton is that Ryan Newton at the top of the board? All right, Ryan Newton, Group B qualifying, followed by Wagaman, Ryan Smith, John Jarek, beat Cam Smith. Oh boy. Preston Latimus, TJ Stutz, Brady Bacon, not good. I assume, which Smith is that? Clint Smith? I don't know which Smith that is. Mark Smith, probably. And then Rumsey. Ooh, not good for Rumsey. Yep, Mark Smith. Do you have the T on what Emerson Axum could have done to get fined? He is such a quiet. He tried to choke Casey Jedrzak at the drivers' meeting. And he threatened him twice. So that's what I was told, and that was a no-go for the World of Outlaws. Did you get an interview with Anthony last night? I did not. I gave him the option, and he declined. So, it's no different than anybody else. It's, I know he was very, very agitated, and I get it. And if anybody, they don't have to. I hold no ill will toward it. I've had interviews declined before, so that's fine. It's up to him. Thoughts on the number 14 livery? For Rico, for Joker's Jackpot Kings Royal. Also, the last 124 characters to acknowledge Lawrence Speedway once again, the best dirt track in America. I thought it was spicy. I like it better than his 24 design. I like the maroon. It looked like a maroon, like a deep red. I like that. I like that color. I think it was sharp. It showed up really well. The flames, I don't know about, I don't get into that stuff, but I like the color of it. And I thought it was sharp. How many cars do you expect to see at Clinton County and Bedford next week? Ooh. 18? Maybe. Chat complaining about Jeremy not going to Hagerstown is new. Why doesn't Macker go out on a national tour? It's fine. It's fine. They can ask. I'm an open book. I will gladly tell people why I didn't go. What's your thoughts on putting the top 2 B main finishers into the redraw? No. You didn't earn it. You don't give a second chance to make the redraw. No. You either make it or you don't. That's it. Is there another winner this speed week, or will it be Macri and Chase? Hagerstown will be different. I think there's a different winner tonight. Now, I do have the advantage of seeing time trials. I think there's a different winner tonight, even though Chase draws well. He draws pretty well. So, different winner tonight. Put Zach Hampton into 39, make racing in Central PA exciting again. I don't know if that's what we want to do. I've never seen a guy clear the fence twice in one spot in one night. He did it. Clinton County will have 30 cars. A lot may be 305s, though. Well, the last one was like 14. So the 305s didn't show up that night. Where were they? Why would they show up? And it's maybe they 305s. To me, that doesn't count. And I don't think, and 410 should not run with 305s ever. If we're going to talk safety, that should never happen. Never happen. That's like saying NFL players should play against high school kids. Shouldn't happen. Who do you think's going to win tonight? I think McFadden can win tonight. He's going to win one. This will be it. Even though I thought it was going to be Lincoln Monday night. I think I remember Callum Williamson mentioned something about disagreements with the 39 crew after he quit with them. Yeah, I mean, he did. By the way, I was asked, speaking of Callum Williamson, I was asked why he didn't come over. He was supposed to. I was told it was financial reasons. It's all money. I'm running out of allowance money for merch this year. Can we get an update? Yeah, I already did. I'm sorry. It was just the way the questions fall. Soon, because I'm back and forth now with the final design, and I would assume it'll be ready within the week. And I will put that out to the public via social media, via probably not the 90 at 9 because I only have so much time. The live show and the race day show, which I think we're going to do again Saturday. Well, and I wanted to stress that we're going to continue the Saturday kind of race day live, I'm calling it. We're going to redesign it as we go here. But they've been popular, and I thank all you guys for. I'm surprised that does as well as it. I'm surprised it does that well. I've seen some complaints about Larson and the 57 entering the Knoxville Nationals, knowing there could be a schedule conflict. What are your thoughts? Just beat them. I know, because if it rains out, he's going to be able to race. It's just not a big deal to me. Out of all the things, and I'm not trying to blow it off, out of all the things that are going on in sprint car racing, that one doesn't bother me. It's kind of like Brad Sweet running his own series. Okay, if he wouldn't do it, there wouldn't be a series. Nobody complains about Hefner's car running at Lincoln. So I don't have a problem with it. Just beat him. Just beat him. We've had a request for 4X t-shirts from. Well, you're going to be able to order all sizes. You'll be able to, you're going to be able to go online. You're going to be able to go online and order what you want. Our one phone caller tonight has requested 4X. Okay. I think it'll be on there. That'll be the next thing I talk to him about after I approve the design. What happened to Billy Dietrich last night? He qualified good and then went backward. Any word? No, I just think he went out at a good spot, and I just think he got overwhelmed a little bit in the heat race, just slid back. If I'm not mistaken, he was out for the B main. Did I miss that? Are there any 410 races in Canada? I don't know if Oswego has one or not. I know they have 360 races up there. I don't think they have a 410 race this year, but I'm not 100% sure. So I don't think there's a 410 race, though. The Outlaws are not going up there, I don't believe, because I think it's the whole duty thing and everything, T-shirt trailers, all that stuff. So I don't think they're going back. Correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody did say that Oswego does have the Outlaws this year. So, yes, there will be. I didn't know if they were going back with the timeline because I'm thinking about Weedsport with the calendar, the Weedsport deal, and then they have the Grove, and then, of course, they start heading out to the Midwest. I didn't know if they were going to get up there. So I guess it's happening right before they go to Weedsport, I believe. That would make sense. Sorry about that. Jeremy, new Eisenheck YouTube video. One is wearing a Sprint Car Unlimited shirt. Nice. Nice. I like it. Thank you. Appreciate it. Hot take, maybe lukewarm, but 15 wins is in one state area doesn't mean the same as getting 15 wins in Wooer High Limit Tour. Yeah, I don't think that's even a lukewarm take. I think that's definitely true. I think that's like I left dinner out for about 8 hours in a blizzard. I was certain Jeremy could use the corporate jet to try. Yeah, I wish that the helicopter. I hope Eric gets compensated accordingly. I can't even read that. Yeah, no. There's no helicopter, no corporate jet. I wish, because I'd be flying to California for races. I would be flying all over the place to give you guys content. I would love to do it, but I need more subscriptions bought for that. And some advertising. Jeremy, how are you feeling about Tanner Holmes this week? The same as I felt about him last week. He was okay at Port. I was a little surprised at Port last night because he has been terrible at Port. So I think he came out of it with a 6th. He timed well, was decent in his heat. He raced well. So I'd say a good outing at Port for him. He has been really bad there. So I think last night was a positive. But overall, again, it's not one race. And did it kick me off? Oh, we're struggling now. Oh, now we're back. Oh, now we don't know what we're doing. Oh, here we go. It's pay-per-view, baby. So yeah, I feel the same way as I did last week. So you still hate him. Yeah, that's it. Again, never understood the hate word. I don't know Tanner. I haven't sat down and broke bread with him. So yes, I guess so. Lauda, you're funny. What do you think about Oswego and Mansfield Speedway broadcasting for free, getting 2,500 or 2,500 plus viewers versus other tracks charging $25 a night? Does YouTube Live monetize? Yes, it does monetize, but not as much as that. 2,500 is really not a good number to watch a race, in my opinion. And I guess it depends on the race, too. Is it an outlaw race? Is it a high limit race? Is it, I know Flow Racing puts some of theirs on YouTube kind of as a teaser at times. But no, YouTube pays nothing like that. Just as somebody who's had pay-per-view. And look, and this might make some people mad, but it's a fact. The only reason people are mad about paying for races is because they get it for virtually free from Dirt Vision and Flow. It's for next. My dad had Flow 2 years ago. We figured this out, and he still has it. By the end of the year, if you took the races he watched and divided that into what he paid, it equaled about 25 cents a race. People aren't mad they have to pay for a race. People are mad that they have cheaper options and they expect everybody to be cheaper. Let's be honest about the psychology of it. It has nothing to do that they have to pay for a race. Because before Flow and Dirt Vision, nobody had a problem paying the cushion for Knoxville Nationals or Trophy Cup, and they were on the cushion. Now, all of a sudden, people are upset. Well, what changed? You got a streaming service that's only going to charge you a set amount to watch tons of races. Even Dirt Vision, think about it. The $399 or whatever it is, $399, you can watch all the outlaw shows. Let's say they get 70 of them in. Well, just do the math. That's less than $6 a race. That's $5 and change. And then you could also watch ASCS. You could watch Northeast Modifieds. You can watch late models. So the problem isn't the $25. Problem is it's cheaper. People get mad because it's cheaper for other things. But no, YouTube, they monetize, but you're not making what you make on a pay-per-view, unless it's a bad pay-per-view. There's a variable there. I mean, if it's a worthwhile pay-per-view, no. If it's just something where you don't get a lot of traffic as far as purchasing the pay-per-view, yeah, you can make more. Check out Heat 1 at Hagerstown. I'm watching EMMR cars now. Whittall, Macri, Danny, McFadden, top 4 lineup in Heat 1. Schuhart coming from 6th. That damn Ryan. I took Schuhart today. That's not looking good. Whittall probably, well, McFadden's in the redraw as long as he makes the top 5. So he's not going to push it to win it. That Whittall Macri deal going into turn 1 could be interesting. The Eichelberger 8 isn't a front runner operation. Sad but true. Was a couple years ago. I don't know what's going on with it now. Dewey said he found some geometry stuff in the front end, but they haven't had speed the second half of this week. So I don't know what's going on. Deep dive Lethal Lee Stauffer. Definitely an option as well. Deep dive Flea Ruzick. Agreed. Deep dive Chris H. Without the H. He doesn't spell it with an H. But yes, that all Darren Hesh would be good. Hi, Jeremy. I'd love to see a Fred Raymer deep dive. Noted. Keeping mental notes over here. I said after failing to qualify at Williams Grove that Chase couldn't afford a rainout if he wanted the championship. Oops. Yeah, it's a big oops. That is a huge oops. Well, when you come back and win 3 in a row, that kind of puts you back in the mix. He was back to, within 2 races, he was back to 3rd from 24th, I believe it was. So, yeah, he's good here. It's good here. Do you think after how Marks has been running, he may have a chance at the Weikert or the 50? I think he has a better chance at the Kings Royal. It's really good there. You know, it's funny. Everybody's talking about what did he change? What did he, you know, I actually talked to his dad last night, and he said, we just went back to the stuff that worked 4 or 5 years ago. Yes, they switched shocks, but they switched shocks a couple times this year. They went back to old stuff that worked. They got too far away from it, which happens when you're not running well. You don't run well for a couple weeks, and these teams want to switch, and then so they just said they went back to stuff that worked 4 or 5 years ago. But yes, he has a chance to win those events. Absolutely. I think Kings Royal, though, I wouldn't shy away from picking him. So, but yes, he can certainly win at Port Royal. He's won that race before, meaning the 50. So yeah, he can definitely win those races. Did the PA Posse series ever decide to get a race director for the series? Hopefully to prevent another issue like the Dietrich situation at Lincoln. No, they did not. Not that I know of, not as of now. And if they would probably announce that, but no, they did not. Do you see Double D eventually turning it around? If so, when do you see it? It's looking bleak. It doesn't look good again tonight. I don't know. I take a couple weeks off and reevaluate, I think, but they don't do that. And I don't know. I wish I had a better answer than that, but sometimes you just got to say, I don't know. I don't know if he does or not. I think he gets a couple more wins, but turn it around to where he rattles off like 7 or 8 to get to 10 wins. I think that's looking bleak, especially now because he isn't winning during Speed Week when there's a large grouping of races together. Now he's going to get into these deals where the sanctioning series are coming in here, and he's going to go to the Kings Royal. He's going to go to Knoxville. It's going to be more difficult to win. I think he could get more consistent and rattle off maybe 2, 3, but a bunch, it's looking bleak. Gage Polkerback quick time at River Cities tonight. I'm assuming that's not a high limit race. It's no, and you know that's where I wish Polkerback would have ran All-Stars or run All-Stars. Improve, get better, hone your craft, so to speak. I think guys want to jump to the national tour too quick. Don't do it. Don't get your head. You're not learning anything running 18th. Don't go get your head kicked in and you learn nothing. You learn how to run 18th. I'd love to see a Pulkerbeck go to the All-Stars. Maybe you can get a win. Go to IRA. Go NOSA like tonight. That's good. That's the general progression I think they should make. Which, by the way, on a different note, we haven't started heat races yet. It's 9 o'clock. Come on. Port needs to fix the track. Billy, I was stunned by that last night. I knew that. I heard they put new clay on it. Was not good. Was not good. People were asking what happened to you last night after time trials. If you want to give them an update, feel free. I'll read it. I don't know what you do with it with new clay. I don't seem like it was pretty heavy. Just didn't move up, and it was kind of ruddy. And I know some people are going to say, wow, it's ruddy in California. Yeah, well, you're not going 16.8 around a half mile. It's a different animal. It's a little more treacherous. So, yeah, I would agree they need to do some work in the next couple days. What are your thoughts on teams using a tire smasher? I've heard this, and damn it, Lauda, this is on me. I didn't think to ask this week. I got to do that tomorrow. It's going to be on my docket tomorrow. I'm going to ask a traveling team, ask a local team what it does, and then I'll give you an update. So it wouldn't be fair for me to give an opinion now. It'd be uninformed, and I don't want to do that. I will look into it tomorrow. Thank you for reminding me. I just forgot. Get wrapped up in Speed Week and forget. Fast, rough track equals hard on equipment. Fair enough. Get it. I get it. Seen Kane at Port Royal around Macri. Is there a Kane-Macri merger in the future? No, he was there to pick up motors and some other parts. I talked to him a little bit after the race. He says he could be back in his own car by the end of July. Hopes to run Knoxville and some of the races leading up to it. So he was just in here to get some motor, take care of some motor stuff, and he figured he'd come to a couple of Speed Week races. He's at Hagerstown tonight before he goes home. What will Donnie retire to? Race his nieces? No, Donnie runs a business. He runs the family business. So that's why he flies around. He doesn't fly around just because he wants to fly around. He flies because he goes home and he does daily business stuff at Schatz Crossroads. Okay, we got the first heat on the track. Looks like we're going to come to green here. See what happens. Go ahead, you put up. Is greed destroying the sprint car industry? I got to be more specific than that. Greed in what way? That's a very blanketed statement. So shoot over, a little more specific. Will be interesting what kind of crowd shows up at the Grove. It did not look very good from the stream last night at Port. It wasn't, I mean, it was hot. It was hot. And I do think that would have been better if not for weather, with it being so hot. I don't know what to expect from the Grove because, again, it's on Dirt Vision. A lot of people have Dirt Vision. So, as I've said many times on here, I think streaming is great for National Series racing. Would never argue that. And I think it's good for the promotion of that, and people can keep up with it. Where it hurts locally is if the weather is sketchy. Older crowd doesn't want to sit in 109 degree heat index weather. And that's what we're going to have tomorrow night. So I'm a little skeptical in the crowd. I think it's one of the best races of the year in here. I always like the Mitch Smith Memorial. I think they draw a huge crowd for that, and they have no sanction fee like the person in the chat said earlier. And I think it's a race you just roll out. It's part of Speed Week. It's $20,000 to win. I think I'm hoping for a good crowd, but man, the heat index at 109, That doesn't help. Since we are one-on-one on our Kane bets, will we bet again once he gets into his own car? Well, yes. We can look at it, whatever the bet is. It'll depend on what the bet is. Or we can find another bet. Because I'm going to be 2-1 on the gravel bet. Although they, Buddy and Carson, I guess, are tied after last weekend, I think. Somebody told me they were tied. Macri gets the jump on Whitall. Ooh, Whitall coming back on the bottom and drives right by him on the backstretch. Looks like the track's wide at Hagerstown tonight. And then Macri just blows by him in turn 3 and 4. Holds about a car length on going into 1 on the next lap. Macri's going to pull away a little bit now. Good race for 2 laps. So Macri's going to end up in the redraw unless Whitall is able to track him down. Danny Dietrich and Jake Carklin are side by side at the flag stand for third. Jake Carklin takes the lead. How about that? Looks like it's racy at Hagerstown. Again, if it wasn't, it just didn't suit tonight. But yeah, we can do something. We'll figure something out. But the gravel, I'm going to win the gravel bet. Do you think Casey Kane has had second thoughts about hiring Pursley in the Napa 9? No. Everything I'm hearing, no. I don't think he can crash a lot the rest of the year. I do think that's an issue. But I think he's willing. Danny got by Carklin. I think he's willing to wait on him and build something with Pursley. I could see some maybe changes within the team, possibly maybe some components changes, maybe motor change. Who knows? But I don't think he regrets it. No. Yeah, Macri's driving away. He's going to win the heat race. Heat 1 results: Macri, Whitall, Dietrich, Carklin, and Schweibens. I have Carklin, Dietrich, and Macri on the Corey pool. So that's good. I'm in 7th. So that's good to get guys in the A main. I don't think Joey Amantea is there. Is he there, Eric? Joey Amantea? No, of course not. Why would he be? But he's my Group 6 guy. J-Mac didn't fire. Ooh. I was wondering what happened there. Why I got to see now. I hope I didn't have McFadden. Let me check. Check old Corey's pool here. Hang on, I'm looking. That's Port. Where's Hagerstown? Oh, Hagerstown. Where am I here? Hey, Eric, can you tell me who I have? Fuel issue on the 21. Thank you, Braden Sage. Braden's actually there, so I appreciate Braden passing that along. Fuel issue for McFadden. It's like we're doing our own pay-per-view over chat. You better watch what you say about the Grove. They might take your credentials. I'm not going to take my credentials. I didn't say anything bad. I didn't say anything bad. I said I like the Mitch Smith. Any updates on Tyler Walker, Chaz, and Sugar Bear? No, and no. I think Chaz isn't he running like a hobby stock up in like the north, Midwest North, up in Dakotas or something? Isn't he like, I don't know. He looked like he was wearing some tax slayer thing because he hates corporate, but yet he'll wear it. It makes no sense. But no, I have not heard updates from any of them other than that. I think Sugar Bear is probably busy. Boy, I hope I have Macri. I hope I don't have McFadden. That would suck. Now, starting to pull the B main. Your Hagerstown, Macri, Dietrich, Whittall, Newton, Kirkland, Amatea. Looking good. Having Macri, having Dietrich gets the third, Whittall second. I'm good with that. Newton was quick time. I like that. That gets me some points. Kirkland making the A main. Good deal. Liking it. So when I get my guys to the A main, that's it. My Hagerstown picks, Macri, McFadden. Eric, what are you doing? You're like a jinxie cat over there. Bacon, Newton, Schweibens, Parker Scott. At least he's there. McFadden was a good pick, just bad luck. Grove should have a good crowd Friday night. One time of the year that families show up and bring kids for fireworks. I would agree with that. Hopefully the heat doesn't keep them away. I think that we have too many track managers instead of a track promoter in today's world. We've also forgot the first rule of being a promoter, to draw people, to put butts in the seats. I'm going to add to that. I think the first rule, listen to your customers. Customers being fans and teams. They're both your customers. They both pay. So I would put in front of that, 23 stops on the track, Chase Dietz, with an issue lining up. Braden, keep us posted on what's going on in the pit area, what went wrong. I think that we already answered that. Yeah, I think it's listen to the customers. Who from Central PA will be running Eldora during Kings Royal Week? Chase Dietz, Anthony Macri. I think you could see, I don't know if Justin would all go out. I think that could be about it. Don't be surprised. You'll see Cameron Smith there. Cameron Smith will come out in the 1A. 23 runs over Logan Wagner before start of the heat, with Chase looking down between his legs before start of the heat race. Front wing and axle knocked out. Boy, that's going to hurt Chase Dietz, especially with Macri in the redraw. Now, Chase will be, I would assume, he'll probably be on the front of the B main with James McFadden. Boy, if he has to come through that B main and the track's a little quick, that could be a problem. But the two fast timers who don't make it through their heat race go to the front of the B main. So, wow. Big turn of events. Colton Gauss is on his promoting game. He's the best promoter in the area. So, yes, he's hit a string here with some really good promotions. I would even include Speed Week. They had a band. They were fan friendly there, and he puts out stuff all the time about his events. I think Colton right now is the future of promoting in Central PA. Hopefully we get a couple like him. Don't know if that'll happen, but again, he is. You hit that one on the head. Is Brent Marks racing Port Royal as well this weekend? Yes, he is. He will be at the Grove and Port Royal. Port's Blue Collar Classic format increased the winner's share the farther back they start. How about that on an occasional weekly 410 show? I'm up for anything to try to see if it works. That's an interesting concept. I'd like to see it implemented, see what happens. Apparently, I guess there was a false start. Was it a false start, Eric? In the heat race, Chase Dietz is they're scurrying. That's a lot of front end damage. I don't know if they'll get that out. They got the front wing off it. No, they're going green. He's not going to get that out. But yeah, so it's an interesting concept. Whitall helping the 23 team. I'm on a little phone, and I'm trying to answer questions too. Will Colton Gauss be the new Alan Kreitzer? Different time, I think. I think promoting now is different than it used to be. And I mean, we'll see. They got to let him do it. I mean, it comes down to that. He's GM at BAPS. And I do think within the area, you have some people who might not let that happen. They should. Because I'll be honest, I just think he has a pulse. He listens to his customers. He talks to drivers and teams all the time. He talks to fans. He has kind of different ideas. And I think he understands that you got to draw fans to the track. I think he'd do more if he could. And we'll see. We'll see if it can continue. Dylan Cisney battling with Brock Zierfoss. Dylan Cisney out front. When is Nitro Nick's suspension up? Don't know. It's a year. I think it's a year's suspension if I'm not mistaken. Oh, it froze up. Any high limit besides Mark's running to Grove, Port, or Knoxville this weekend? I don't know about Knoxville. I could see Courtney going to Knoxville. Grove and Port, I don't know. Other than Kerry Madsen, I expect Kerry Madsen to be at Port Royal. Don't know about Williams Grove. It's not his favorite place. It's not. It's just not. So I expect him to be at Port. I expect Tanner Holmes to be out this weekend. So I think you'll have 3 guys in here. I think Tyler Courtney will go to Knoxville. I think Tanner Holmes should go to one of them. Don't know if he will. Or Tanner Thorson, should go to one of them. Rico, I don't know what Rico. I could see Rico going to Knoxville. There you go. Just got the 7BC is running both classes at Knoxville this weekend. Not surprised. Logan Wagner wins Heat 2, followed by Raymer, Zierfoss, Cisney, DeWeese, Ferry, Chris Smith, Chase Dietz. And Braden Sage is saying the 23 will start last in the B main with McFadden being fast timer in the A. Wouldn't they put 2 guys up there? Don't know. Watch for that. We'll have to watch for that. So back to your Jesus. So back to your bowling from last week. What is your favorite bowling alley in the South Central area? Also, did you see that laser alleys went to string pins? I know the string pins are something is growing in this sport. I don't think you'll see the Harrisburg centers going to it. I was told you'll never see string decks or on as far as the string pins in at the ABC centers. My favorite center was York Suburban down in York. Had a lot of good nights at York Suburban. Hot take. T-shirts being available is a 90 at 9 in itself. Might be a hot take, but I'm not going to do that. That's a little self-serving. I can't do that. What about colors on shirts? Please say something besides just black. Black has been the color, but I'm sure you can get other colors. It's not going to just be one. You'll get a choice. I hope you get a choice. I'll check on it. Pretty impressive 42 mod car account Tuesday at Grandview. Both features nonstop. That, yes. We were talking about that on the way out. The modified feature going nonstop right after the sprint cars. Good stuff. Good. The mods run really well at Grandview, and Grandview's crowds have been decent as far as their Saturday night stuff, and their car counts have been outstanding. Grandview, Grandview's doing a good job. I mean, it could be promoted more, but they don't have to. They just roll it out every Saturday night with modifieds, and they kill it. String pins are, instead of a rack, them being in a rack and they come down, there's a string in the top of the pin, and it sets it down. And the difference is, depending on the tension in the strings, which you can change if you want to make it harder or easier to knock them down, they could fly around more. The string pins, it's harder. It's meaning it's harder to strike. So they just don't fly around as much. Grandview gets the best mod car count in the region. Yeah, I don't disagree. Do you think Macri and Dietz will dominate PA for the next 5 years? Yeah. I just don't see. I mean, 5 years is a long time, but yeah, I don't see anybody who has everything in place like they do. Two owners who are willing to spend money. That's number one. Good crew chiefs, Tommy Carl and Joe Mooney. Resources. 2 drivers who do it full time, watch film, do everything that's needed. They both go to the gym. They both, I don't see anybody who has all those things with their situation right now. I do think there's some who could contend at times, but I think they would be the big winners. I think Dietrich's not going to be bad forever. I think he has a habit of bouncing back. So I could see Dietrich getting in there and doing some damage year in and year out. But I think they'll be the 2 best teams in this area for some time. And they're not old. Neither driver's old. We have the start. It's Cameron Smith, and Ryan Smith gets the jump on the bottom. He's leading the 3rd heat race. Logan Rumsey's challenging Cameron Smith for 2nd. Then Ryan Newton's about to go. Well, Ryan Newton almost drove into the back of Logan Rumsey. He's 4th. Then I think that's TJ Stutson 5th. Yeah, it is. I'll tell you what, Ryan Newton better calm down. He's back to 5th. Is PA Posse TV helping to fund PA Posse races, or is it a completely separate entity? PAPosse.tv is owned by the management team at Lincoln Speedway. It's Jerry Parrish, Mike Hefner, and Scott Gobrecht. It is not. It's not giving money to the series. It's just the streaming service of the series. So is it helping fund? No. It's a separate entity, but it is owned by the guys at Lincoln Speedway. And I would venture to guess that it probably helps Lincoln Speedway. So, and if you have a show at Path Valley, essentially you're helping Lincoln Speedway because the 3 owners, the stream went out again. Speaking of, we have nothing now. What's that about? So yeah, it's not funding the series. Oh, are we going to be back? Maybe. Oh, we're having problems. Working on it. Well, let's get back to the chat. It's fine. Todd and Allison Schaefer are about to become grandparents. How about that? Might be why Corey Eliason's focusing on his business. Jeremy, what is your favorite track in Pennsylvania and the country? Eldora Speedway is my favorite track everywhere. Number 1, Eldora Speedway. In Pennsylvania, Baps Motor Speedway. I like the size. It's kind of that in that 4/10 range that people talk about. It's banked. It's racy. So I that's those two. But Eldora is number one overall. Just I don't know why. Maybe it's because my dad took me there in 1987. But there's a wow factor every time I walk in Eldora. Chico needs a professional security team for the races. More drama before the fireworks. Not sure what happened. My fix is stop selling alcohol before the feature starts. Always crowd drama at Chico. I've heard stories. It's not Antioch. At least it's not Antioch where you have the Crips and the Bloods. But, I mean, I've heard stories. I don't know enough about it, though. Well, we have an ad now. Oh, it's still not running. Ryan Smith blows the field away in Heat 3. Cameron Smith, Rumsey, Stutz, Newton. So Newton held on. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5. So Newton held on, goes to the redraw. Be interesting to watch Chase Dietz in the B main. Tire Smasher is essentially a shock dyno, but for the sidewalls of a tire and see how much the sidewall flexes. Yeah, I want to know more than that, though. I want to know why teams are using it. I want to know, has it helped? I want to know the consistency of it. Has it upped the consistency? I want to know more about it. Is 10 speed week races too many? No. No, we have less races this year in totality in central Pennsylvania, but I don't think so. Although I don't know if there's as much buzz this year. Now, and this is something I'm kind of toying around with the last couple of days. I talked to Brent Smith, who's my photographer, excellent photographer. Most of the photos on my site are his. Like last night we left Port and he's been at every show and we're just talking about the buzz around it, like at the track. And I know that's not really your question, but it goes to your question. We have less races in Central PA this year. Not by a lot, but we have less. I'm wondering, okay, is it the heat? Is it the fact that Dietz and Macri are just that much better than everyone else? Is it, the whole PA series is $30. So is that taking some people away from Pennsylvania Speed Week? Or is it just an anomaly? The heat, the weather, I don't know. I don't think 10 is too many right now, but I think it bears watching. And I don't know what's going to happen. The future of Hagerstown's very up in the air. I've heard they won't be back next year. Sealands Grove, up in the air. They have not signed their lease. I was told they haven't signed their lease for next year yet. Not sure if that's true. And Grandview is always up for sale. So I think organically we could end up with less races. Now you have Big Diamond, you have Clinton County, you have some other races as well, or other tracks as well to go to. I don't know. Not yet, but it's something I'm definitely watching. That's a good question because there's a lot of layers to it. And I've been thinking about a lot of Speed Week stuff this week. Here we have a caller, Will on line 1. Will, how are you?
All right. Sanders is not slowing down. Starts a couple of rows back and then takes his time and just takes over.
What race was that? Was that at Chico last night?
Yes, sir.
Yep. Well, I mean, come on. Is it a big shock? I mean, he's the best driver in California.
Yeah. I do have a question. Hopefully you have some insight. It's about Calistoga. They only have one race weekend on the schedule. It's the Louis Vermeil. No NARC, no high limit and no World of Outlaws. Rodman's rundown, he will not answer my question, so maybe you will. What's going on with Calistoga?
It's been pretty quiet out there. And I still think there's stuff in the community where there's some people who want it and some people who don't. And anytime you get, and this is as of the last thing I've heard about it. And you got people in that community who don't want the racetrack and people who do. And anytime you get in that situation, we've had it here. We're having it with Kutztown, down in, or Action Track USA. It's in Kutztown. And anytime you have that, that's a problem. Okay. It's a constant pulling back and forth. So I just think Calistoga right now is in limbo. I mean, everybody I talk to out there, nobody, they say the same thing. It's just in limbo. And you know, you make the here's a problem, Will. When you make these outlaw and high limit schedules, you're making them okay. The schedule for 2027, they've started that already. So problems aren't fixed. Problems, you know, you can't get an answer, a definitive answer early enough for the schedule. So I don't know if Calistoga is ever going to get back to where it has, say, 5-10 races. I don't know if it ever gets back to that.
Well, I heard from a very, very reliable source that the high limit organization, I'm not going to name names, that they put pressure on Calistoga. The thing where, okay, if you run us, you can't run the Outlaws. You can't run us both. And if you run the Outlaws, there's no NARC and no high limit.
Well, okay, then here's my question. There's no NARC and high limit now, so what's it matter?
Well, I mean, I just heard, like I said, they put pressure on the track to run just NARC or just high limit.
Okay.
And they're telling the promoters how to promote.
Yeah, I mean, that happens in Wisconsin all the time, except it's reversed. Scott Boyd controls, I mean, Brad tried to get into Wisconsin early on, and it was tough because, there was a block that they weren't letting him in. But I mean, Will, if that's the case, then they should have a high limit NARC race. True.
That's true. But, I don't know what the Calistoga side of the story is. I'm just hearing the one side, the pressure people. I wouldn't doubt that there's the pressure. I haven't heard.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't doubt that there's something to that. But if they're applying the pressure, they don't book an outlaw show, then that means they book a NARC or a high limit show then. And if they're not doing that, that tells me it's something else as well. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then for some reason, and I'm not sure why, but it seems to happen more at Chico, where there's something is happening where either drunkenness or somebody had a medical emergency. I'm not sure what happened, but last night it happened again, and even the announcer was saying, we have a security team. They're wearing black polo shirts. Be nice to them. They'll be nice to you. I think it's almost about time to hire, a regular security team.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think any venue at this point is in that boat. I mean, I know around here there's a couple security outfits that service the racetracks. So I think that's something that goes on a lot of places. Just people don't know how to act anymore. It's as simple as that. People don't know how to act. Not a big shock.
Yeah, well, maybe. I've heard other tracks have this deal where they stop selling beer right before the feature. I don't know if that would help. It might.
Most of them are polluted before the feature even starts.
You're probably right.
I don't think that's enough.
Lastly, Thorson is falling, and he's fallen. How far is he going to fall?
Fourth or fifth. Well, he's fourth now, so fifth. Maybe.
Yeah, I just don't see. We talked about the hype and all that before, and I understand your view on it. It just it's not happening for them this year, I guess.
Who's that?
Thorson.
I think he's had a better year than last year. You got to. I mean, even if he slips to fifth, he's better than he was last year.
Well, I guess that's an improvement.
Yeah, the numbers,
baby steps.
Yeah, I mean, look, we knew Rico and Reitzel were going to pick up the pace. We knew that. I think Marks is the more interesting guy there. He's come out of nowhere. I mean, he was finishing 12th every night, and then all of a sudden now he's a podium runner every night. So I think he's come along. I think Thorson's on bigger track. Thorson on bigger tracks, they just haven't figured those out yet. And when they get to Port Royal, that's my main concern for Thorson and where he loses time. Take him to Lucas Oil, I think he's fine. You take him to those tracks in the Midwest and whatnot, I think he's fine. Eldora could be a problem. So I do think there's some tracks that he needs to get better at, and that's going to determine the rest of the season. But it's still a better year than last year.
All right. I trust your opinion.
Well, he's won races.
Great show. Well, he's won 2, that's true. But, I thought there was, Rodman's rundown, they hyped him, and I thought there was some kind of inside information, like they're running, different engines, or there's some kind of insight, but I guess it was just more or less they were guessing.
Well, I think part of it is too. I mean,
enjoy yourself.
I'll leave you with this. Well, part of it is too. You got to remember, Chase is with the series. He's going to promote things that are maybe out of the norm, if that makes sense.
It does.
So
always enjoy your show. Thanks for taking my call. We'll talk to you down the road.
All right, Will. Thank you. Appreciate you calling.
You bet.
Yep. Oh, they're doing the redraw now. There's no wheel. Latimus wins Heat 4 over Wagaman, Trout, Bacon, Peterson, 91 and 27 to the redraw. If we could get who draws where. Wagaman's on the mic now. We're going to stick with you guys through the B main. And then the feature, we're going to get off here. I got to pay attention to this thing. So, and I'm not going to sit here, have you stare at me watching a race. So that we'll leave that for something down the road. But we'll stay with you through the B main here. And then after that, we're going to get off. And so if anybody could give us who picks what number, where they start, greatly appreciate it. There were 22 360s at Port yesterday. Do you see a time where PA gets rid of 358? No. I think last night was an anomaly. No, I don't think 360s will ever replace 358s. I think it would have already. And I think the 360s are dying in central Pennsylvania. They had 22 last night, but That's because they rolled out Tyler Ross in the 669. They rolled out a couple other guys. I mean, just a week before they had 9 cars. No, 360s are never going to replace 358s. Is there a reason you can think of why Lincoln would not offer $5 off another race if you bring your Steve Smith night ticket with you? Try to capture some of those one-time fans to come back. That's called promoting. And no, I can't think of a good reason not to do that. I agree with you 100%. That would have been a great promotion. And your guess is as good as mine. Lazy? Maybe think that everybody's just going to come back anyway? I have no idea why you wouldn't do that. None. That's actually a very good idea. If the PA Posse Series races at Clinton County go well, do you think that opens up a chance for a Speed Week date in the future? Speed Week organizers have gone to Clinton County to check it out. I believe that was last year, and they still didn't give them a race. I don't know. It still does not seat a lot of people. The thing with Clinton County is they have very good sponsors who make it affordable to run a 410 race where the owner isn't just banking, or the promoter isn't just banking on butts in the seats. So I think that comes into play. I don't know. I could see them with more series races if other tracks bow out. I just don't know if I see them with a Speed Week show. I think they would have gotten it this year, and they did not. But we'll see. We'll see if tracks come and go, depending what happens with the future of some tracks. Maybe it's possible. Front row, Wagaman and Macri. There we go. Macri looking good. Chico looked absolutely packed last night. A good promotion. Good promotion. You know, you're having a fireworks deal. You're doing all that. Those are the things you need to do. You need to build around your races. Build an event. Draw people there. Smart promoting last night. What time for the Saturday shows? I would say this is a loaded question. When I don't go to a race on a Saturday night, I will tell you this, July 11th, I am not going to a race. I'm not going to a race because I'm leaving for Ohio either the next day or Monday. And I have no interest in the races July 11th. So I will probably come on about 7:00. When we do our preview shows, when I do go to a race, it'll be roughly 4:00. Now, this Saturday, it'll be a little earlier because it's a Speed Week show. You're going to have to stay tuned to our social media platforms. I'll get with Eric and we'll decide this week. It's going to move around a little bit. I'm going to try my best to keep it 4:00 or 3:00, one of those two. And then, you know, when I don't go to a race, it'll be 7:00 all the time. Did tow money increase since pit passes have? Never understood charging the driver. Yeah, you know, Patrick Mahomes doesn't pay to play for the Kansas City Chiefs. Look, it's a pay-to-play sport. That's just the way it is. It's not going to change. I doubt tow money has gone up. I know Port Royal raised their tow money a few times. So on a weekly basis, I don't think it's a rule that it goes up according to, because why would you pay out? You're raising the price of the pit pass because your expenses have gone up. And you're not going to give that away. So I just no, it is not. And I agree. If I had a track, the driver would always get in free. Driver and owner. Everybody else, that's on them. But driver and owner. Do you know why the Outlaws never seem to race at Grandview? Well, it's a high limit track right now. But even before that, they were always concerned about oversaturation. They had 2 races at Lincoln at one time, then they had 1, but they had 6 races at the Grove. They had 7 at one time. Then they're at Babs Motor Speedway. I just think they're staying in that Harrisburg area, and they do worry about oversaturation. And then they were running Port Royal as well, and then High Limit came around and snatched up Grandview. So I just think it hasn't worked out in the region because of oversaturation and then High Limit coming into town. Sell some T-shirts and buy a track. Yeah, okay. I'll get right on that. Jeremy, do you consider Tommy Carl to be a branch on the Davy Brown Sr. tree from Davy's time at Zemco back in the 90s? I would have to assume he learned something from him. Absolutely. I just can't believe Davy's still getting around doing it. So, yeah, I do. I would assume there's probably something he learned there. Are they ever going to roll this B main out? Just asking. Jeremy, do you I already got that one. Jeremy, do you share your thoughts with the promoters of local tracks? If so, what feedback do you get? If I'm asked, I will. It's not my job. I mean, they can listen to the show if they want. There's a confusion, and I don't mean to sound, I guess, gruff about it. It's not my job. I don't get paid by them. So they can listen and take an idea or two. That's happened in the past, I guess. I do talk to a couple promoters, and if they ask me a question, I'll gladly, give them an answer if I have one. I mean, I don't have all the answers. I also have given an opinion before, and it depends. Depends. Some of them won't even ask. They know better. So I just let them go. Wogman, Macri, Whitall, Newton, Latimus, Logan Wagner, Dylan Cisney, Mark, I believe that's Ryan Smith. That's good. I have Macri, Whitall, Newton. I'm liking it. Three guys in the top 8. I like that. Has there ever been a speed week with no repeat winners? I don't know. I have not looked at it that every year that close. I apologize for that. Well, I can check. I think you'd have to go back a while. The first one had repeat. Second one, yeah. I think you'd have a bunch of rainouts. Yep, most of them have. I mean, I'm on 96 already, and you really have to look for rainouts. Billy Pouch did it in 96. Pouch did it. Deweese did it there, 98. Because you had a run by Raymer where he was winning at least 2, and then Deweese was, then Hodnet was. Raymer did. I'm into the 2000s already, and their Kaufman did it. Hodnet, yes. Hodnet did it there too. I don't know if there has been. I don't think there has been. I think I would remember that because I'm up to 2007 already. And so far, Raymer did it in 2008. He was the only repeat winner. He won 2. Monteith did it in 2009. Pittman did it in 2010. He was the only one did it the last night. Hodnett. Now we're into the 2012. Monteith right out of the gate. Here's one. 2013, we had Hodnett, Crimes, Haferteep, Dave Blaney, Stevie Smith, Dietrich, and Blaine Heimbach. So 2013 it happened. So we found one. 2013. 23 Throttle Stuck, they believe, starts last inside of B main. The B main, they're giving the lineup now. All right. McFadden fuel issue fixed, ready for the B. Dietz crew still working on the car. Oh boy. They should give show-up money for those who run all 10 Speed Week races. There are bonuses in place if you run all of them. They do have a pot bonus for that. Could it just be that everyone was so hyped for the Steve Smith that drew all the air away from the rest of the week? I guess that's possible. And that's what I mean. That's why I haven't written anything or really done a 90 at 9 about it. I just kind of want to feel it out and get through the end of the week and then kind of assess it. I don't like to do knee-jerk things like that because then when you do Chase Dietz, I believe, is rolling out, so they must have got it fixed. I don't like to do knee-jerk things like that because, I just don't want to be wrong. So, or misstep. I think that's important. I think it's more important to be right than to be like hot take guy. I mean, I have to think about it. But that could be. No, they aren't giving the lineup. Oh, why not? Braden. In fact, a car hasn't moved yet. Oh, what are we doing? Are you in the PA Speed Week pool? If so, how are you doing? I'm 7th. So yes, I am in it. I have 3 guys in the top 8 tonight. I lose out in the last group. Joey Amantea is not there. I should have just picked one of the guys I knew, like Parker Scott. I knew he was going to be there. I just shouldn't have done it like that. That's on me. Hopefully it doesn't cost me and I can get all my guys in the top 10. I'm going to have 5 in the A main, I think. PA Speed Week would be better to end on Saturday night, whether they start a day earlier or not. The final Sunday show never fills the seats. I'm not going to disagree with that either. Ending on a Saturday and kind of having that Sunday before you go back to work. And that's one of the things about Central PA. It's a working man's area. I think there's not many professional teams here. So I do think I'm not going to disagree with that point at all. I wouldn't have a problem if it ended Saturday night. Have a big soiree afterward, whatever, in the pit area, whatever you want to do. 1 car is now moved. 1. Braden. We're going to probably, one of the things we want to do on these Saturday shows, once I kick it up July 11th with, where I'm not at a race, we want to have correspondents at races where we can call them kind of like NFL Network does on Sirius Satellite Radio, just get like a 30-second update. What's going on? Quick hitters. So we'll see if we can pull that off. It's always good in conception until execution. There's a proposal to turn Calistoga into a data center. It wouldn't be the first time that a racetrack's look. It's wide open land. I thought it was funny when Doug Hammaker took the $6,000 and ran. He got like 18th. Yeah, he made over $9,000 to finish 18th. Smart. That's what you call smart. All right, what else? So Calistoga puts on boring single file racing. I saw somebody ask what a soiree is. Soiree is a French word that means an elegant gathering. A lot of people use it as a party. It's used as, it's another way for saying party. It's a fancier way to say party. Sorry, but it's a French word. How have the crowds been at Speed Week races compared to previous years? I think down at some. I mean, Lincoln's Monday crowd, of course, was up. It was a Steve Smith senior tribute race. Grandview was down a little bit. Baps was good. Baps was really good. So I think up and down. We'll see how it is the rest of the week. Have they shown a drone shot yet, Eric? Of Hagerstown? That tells me something, because PA Posse TV loves to use the drone. It's like their big selling point. They have a drone. If there's no crowd shot, that's a red flag to me. Maybe they'll do one before the feature. But Hagerstown's done really, really well lately. And I don't know how today is. Somebody just said, put that back up. EMS sent to the grandstand is why the delay. Makes sense. Okay, Braden. You got to have a little sympathy for the person in the stands who's maybe having problems. You need to get Braden to do the pit walk for you. Actually, that wouldn't be a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. Will Rico be running the 14 car in the 2 high limit shows at Eldora, or do they have a rule about that? I wouldn't see why they would. I would assume he could. That's what it's for. So yeah, no, I would assume he could. Same owner, everything's the same. You're allowed to change paint job or wrap, as they say. The locals aren't happy that 57 is not in attendance. Braden, how's the crowd compared to the last couple of years where it was really, really good? They were falling out of the stands almost. Good. It was excellent. But yeah, Kyle Larson had a tire test on Tuesday and just didn't come in. At least that's what I was told. So if you could, let me know how the crowd is. Sprint Car Unlimited deep dive, Braden Sage. That would be interesting. Is Holmes running tonight? No, he is not. I wouldn't be surprised if he shows up at Williams Grove, and I wouldn't be surprised. I do think he'll be at Port Royal on Saturday. Tonight, Hagerstown, take the night off. Wouldn't surprise me. You know. You're not right. Dietz fan faking heart attack to give 23 car more time to get car ready. Smart move. Paycheck will be in the mail, buddy. Paycheck will be in the mail. That's funny. That's the comment of the night. That is the comment of the night. Colton is legitimately the only promoter in Central PA. Port has eased off over the last few years. I just think I think Port, they have a race committee. It's a different setup. Like, I don't think Steve O'Neill could just do stuff. And I'm not saying the race committee stops him from doing stuff, but it's a different dynamic. So I do think, Colton's a GM. He has to go through Scott. Scott's the owner. Race committee, you vote on a lot of stuff. I just think, too, and we got to give Port Royal credit for, they have a lot of things in place. the facility-wise, whereas Baps had to build up. So, but as far as events and stuff, and Port Royal's been decimated. Oh, there's a drone shot, but it doesn't show the crowd. Port has been decimated by weather this year. Decimated by weather. They've had 10 shows clipped. Last night was their 8th race of the season. So I think there's variables, but I'm not going to disagree. I think Colton is the best promoter in Central Pennsylvania. Not great, about half full in each section. See, and I wonder if that's a heat thing. Now, the pay-per-view might be doing really, really well then. Not sure. I'll do a deep dive. How much will be able to be aired and how many feelings I hurt will be another subject. That is 100% true. Braden, I always enjoy talking to Braden at the track. He's an interesting guy. Bridgeport would replace Sealands Grove or Hagerstown before Clinton County, and then it can be PA New Jersey Speed Week instead of PA Maryland. I don't know if Bridgeport's going to. They just got approved for the car part deal. I don't know how long Bridgeport's going to be around. I know they put something out that said, we're racing until the end of the season and all that, but I don't know how long it's going to be around. So I don't think we can do that. I don't think that's stable. What's your bet on Dietz making the feature tonight? He needs to get to 4th. I think he makes it. I think he blows around these guys. He gets to 3rd. I'm going to say he gets to 3rd. So I'm going to say percentage. I like it 90%. 90%. Jerry Parrish will be the downfall of Lincoln Speedway. I'm not going to disagree. What else do we got? Boy, Dietz has a long way to go. Whew. And he's on the inside. I wish he was on the outside. I wish he was on the outside. I mean, just from that standpoint. What else do we got? Johnny on line 3. Johnny, how are you?
Good. Doing fine, sir.
Good. What do you got?
What my question was, sir, is what do you think Macary's chances of winning the championship? I know he's second in points, but he does have some to make up.
Well, he's looking pretty good tonight. He timed well, obviously. Oh, God, what a terrible start. They're going to call that one back. I think he has a great start tonight. He's going to probably win tonight from the outside pole. Are they going to let that go? You're kidding me. Wow.
Good deal.
But no, I think he's going to pick up a lot of points tonight. And I think we're going to go into Port Royal Saturday night with these guys pretty even. So I think it's, judging by what's happened tonight, I would say 50-50.
Should be a heck of a race, shouldn't it?
Yeah, no, I mean, and this is what everyone wanted. This is what everyone wanted.
Thank you for your time thank you for your transparency, sir.
Yep, no problem. Thank you. Ooh, thank you. All right. McFadden takes the lead. Dietz to 5th by lap 2. Not surprised. It's when they string out that becomes an issue. And, of course, they're not putting the camera on him, which I don't know why, because he's pretty far back. He's got a lot of – they're on him. He's got a lot of ground to make up. He's got to get on his horse. Because if he does not make the A main, that is going to be a problem. Stop by and say hi at the Grove on Friday. I flagged 3 and 4. If I can make it there, because I might melt. Jeremy needs to promote a one-off race. Oh, need money to do that. I mean, I'd love to do one. If Selinsgrove doesn't rain out Sunday, is it suspected that only the 20 guys following all 10 races show up? No, you'll get some other guys, I think. I think you'll get some guys. Ooh, he's making up ground a ton. He's making up a ton of ground. Who's in front of him? Can't tell who's in front of him. He's erased a big disadvantage. There's 14 guys who followed the whole series so far. So I think you'll get 28 cars. I'm going to say 28. Oh, the stream stopped. B main results: McFadden, Schuhart, Mark Smith, Jeremy. Is that Jeremy Weaver? Wow. Dietz does not make the show. Macri's going to be the point leader. Casey Weaver, I'm sorry. Chase does not qualify. Wow. Speed Week just keeps getting weirder. That just keeps getting weirder. Can we make leaderboards on the side of the screen mandatory? We went to that. That was one thing we went to for qualifying. It just looks better, aesthetically better. Wow, I can't believe Dietz didn't make it. Will Danny Dietrich fall out of your top 25 ranking? When did that last happen? Yeah, he's not in the top 25 now. I will probably do that next week. I'll try and get it done before Tuesday's show in case people want to see it, discuss it, and go from there. But yeah, no, he's not in the top 25. No. But here's the thing, when you start getting back in that 15 to 25 range, or it can get ugly. So I'm not looking at the numbers, but it would definitely, I don't know if I could put him in. It's looked bad. Why wouldn't Dietz' team pay Weaver $2,000 to say he has a motor issue and scratch from the main? That's a good point. I think it'd be a little obvious, and I don't know if they'd allow it. I don't know if they would allow it. It used to go on here. That stuff used to happen at Silver Springs. It used to happen other places. I haven't seen that happen for a long time in Central PA. I don't know if they would allow it, and I think a lot of people would raise a stink. It's not California here where there are no rules. People here would be irate. So I just don't think it's going to happen. And I don't know if I would assume they would bump them in, but again, I haven't seen it for so long. I don't know what they would do. This goes to show you how much mechanical failures matter. Yeah, and it's nothing that Dietz did wrong, or it's just bad luck. That's just bad luck. All right, guys, that's a wrap. The A main's up next, and I want to focus on that because then I can jump on the 90 at 9, etc., or anything else I need to do. Again, I appreciate everybody joining the show. A lot of participation. The views were good, and I know moving it 2 days, that doesn't always happen. So thank you very much, and we will be back to Tuesday nights next week. Stay tuned.